Knicks family, what's poppin'? It's your boy. I apologize that I had to push the show back just a little bit, but sometimes duty calls. But we are here now. We're gonna break down the Knicks versus Heat, but before we get to that, we are going to dive in a little bit deeper into the aftermath of this Derrick Rose trade, because there's some rumors that have come out since Derrick Rose has been traded to the New York Knicks. There's some things going on. Derrick Rose likely is not going to be available tonight. We'll talk about reasons why. We'll talk about some lineups and who may be the odd man out and all of that kind of stuff. So before we do that, let's get to our group, see what these guys are thinking, how they're feeling. Then we're going to break down everything, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for being here. Good afternoon to you. Let's go ahead and get this thing on a roll. Fellas, Steph's not here as of yet. But how you guys feeling today, man? It's been a couple days since the Derrick Rose trade. Still feeling positive about it? Talk to me. Andy, let's start with you.
Well, yeah, I'm feeling positive because we didn't give up that much for him. As far as I see Thibs using him, I think he's going to be coming off the bench at this point. I also don't see him cutting into IQ's shooting attempts and minutes, so it's not going to affect his development. It might even help him out because D Rose is, at the point at his career that he is willing to help younger players. And with Thibs on his side, he basically probably had that chat already. We already know that he was on dinner with Obi and with IQ. So that's the first step even before he stepped on the court, right?
Yeah. Yeah, that's a real good thing right there. Before we even get to that, I'm gonna get to that shortly. Him having dinner with Quickly and Obi, but just on the trade front, right? We traded for Derrick Rose, and now it looks like there's rumors out there that there's the possibility that there's going to be contenders who are interested in Austin Rivers, contenders who are interested, or a playoff team, at least one playoff team that's interested in Elfrid Payton. Now, I am of the belief that Elfrid Payton, Tom Thibodeau at least, would like to keep Elfrid Payton around so that they can have another veteran point guard just in case something goes wrong, Derrick Rose gets hurt, whatever it is. I think he'd like to have Elfrid Payton around, or continue to have Elfrid Payton around. But there are the rumors out there that there's a playoff team that's interested in Elfrid Payton, and some playoff contenders that might possibly be interested in Austin Rivers. I want to know, Andy, real quick, and then I'm going to pass it over to Divine. As far as Austin Rivers, which playoff contenders do you think might be interested in Austin Rivers? And what could we get for him?
Well, I think it's a second rounder at most. I don't think nobody's going to give us a first round pick. That's for sure. Unless we're going to ride it out to the very last minutes of the trade deadline, and he's going to have a couple of better games under his belt. That might be like a really, really late first round, like 28, 29, or 30. That's going to be the max that we're going to get for him, or a second rounder, or a bad contract that we can absorb actually till the end of the season.
Right.
A bad expiring contract also is on the table, basically. And that's basically it. If you want me to name a team, I don't. It's hard to name a playoff team. It would have to be a really high playoff team right now, because we can't anticipate the teams that are around the 8th seed that are looking for Elfrid Payton, because we are around that seed. So that would be dumb for him to lose a starting position to jump on a team that's basically at the same position as the Knicks, right? So it's unless it's a top East or West team and he's going to go straight to the bench. So as far as you ask me, and if I was Alfred Payton, I don't think I'd make the move. Right. I think I would sit comfortably here unless I have the note from Thibs. Listen, we're looking, just to address D Rose, the last place playbook or whatever, and you're going to be moved to the bench. That might make me thinking, but unless that happened, I'm thinking I'm staying this season with the Knicks.
I mean, I'm one of the people that believes that Alfred Payton is going to be here even next season. Unless the only way I see that he's not here is if the Knicks pick up another veteran point guard in the offseason. So let's say they pick up a Kyle Lowry.
Yeah.
And then they still have Derrick Rose, then there wouldn't be any need for Alfred Payton. Right? But if they still have Derrick Rose.
Or unless, he gets an offer like 4 times the amount the Knicks are going to pay him. Right. 4 or 5 times. So, that's a no-brainer for him, right?
Yeah, that'd be easy. But I don't think he's going to get that. Now, looking at next season, if the Knicks got a Kyle Lowry or something like that during free agency, and they still signed Derrick Rose, then there would be no need for Alfred Payton because you still got to make sure Quickly gets his minutes. If they don't sign a Kyle Lowry or Mike Conley or someone like that, then you're probably looking at Derrick Rose sticking around and Alfred Payton to be his backup. Right? So get used to him, ladies and gentlemen. That's all I got to say. Divine, real quick, what do you think? Who do you think might be interested in Austin Rivers or Alfred Payton, and what do you think we can get for him?
I'm pretty much on the same page with Andy. Either they definitely going to be second-round picks, most likely, unless they package them in a trade. Austin Rivers, I can see them going down with his father in Philly or going back out to L.A. to the Clippers. I mean, they can always do the backup point guard out there. I mean, so who's to say that he won't go back to the Clippers or go down to Philly with that? As far as Alfred, that's a good one, man. If the Knicks don't hold on to him, I think either one of them could be packaged in the deal. And I'm gonna go out on a limb and say that I believe they might package some cats down to Houston with a couple of picks for Oladipo. That's just me looking at the Scott Perry and the Oladipo connection. Houston got him on the block. I got a feeling they're gonna package something to get Oladipo. That's my belief. So I can even see Rivers going to Philadelphia, playing, backing up down there with his dad, and going out to the Clippers, or they're gonna package him and Alfred in a deal and go out to Oladipo.
Yeah, I don't think that Doc Rivers wants to coach his son. I don't think he wants to coach Austin. Again, I think there was too much pressure doing it in the NBA, and he doesn't want to have to deal with that kind of pressure. I'm pretty sure on the NBA level, I know what it's like coaching your kid on an AAU level, on a high school level. I can imagine the pressure there is when it's on the NBA level. So I think they want to stay away from that. So I don't think it's going to be Philadelphia. I'm looking at maybe, teams that were interested in Derrick Rose might be interested in both of those guys, right? So Derrick Rose decided against the Clippers. He decided against Milwaukee, against Brooklyn. I think Brooklyn was one of the teams that was interested in Derrick Rose. There was one other team, I don't remember who it is, but he decided against those guys to come to the Knicks, right? Because Tom Thibodeau is here, Taj Gibson is here, and he sounded excited. He sounded pretty excited. When you look at what he said, he made an Instagram post, right, talking about his return to the Knicks. Before he even spoke, he said, "What is your personal legend? Are you still searching for your treasure, or are you still content with working at the crystal shop? This experience we call life will always challenge you to your core, especially if you are trying to master your craft. You got to have a special group of people to vent to and leave it there. Don't hold on to those emotions. Don't bitch or complain about the journey because the story is already written. Hate, jealousy, spurious love will always be around the corner. They want you to stop at the chapter. Laugh out loud. Shake that shit off and smile because you are a blessing. You're breathing, shorty. Stop forcing shit and sail your way through this beautiful experience. Stop rowing. Other hoopers always used to tell me that if I ever had the chance to play in the Mecca, go for it. I'm getting a second chance. Gotta make this one count. But I'm built for it. What's poo spelled backwards? I think you guys know what poo spelled backwards is. Maybe Isaiah, maybe Big Bubba doesn't know what poo spelled backwards is, but I think all you guys know what poo spells backwards.
You gotta write it down.
He said, the shit just in my blood. Peace and love, king and queens. Derrick Rose wants to be in New York. And shortly after that, he arrived in Miami. Well, this video actually looks like he's in Miami when he wrote it. And it's what Derrick Rose had to say. And let me get the video going for you. There we go.
Man, I thought it wasn't gonna happen at first, man. You know what I mean? Like it goes, a lot goes into getting traded. I'm feeling grateful, anxious, but at the same time, I know what I gotta do coming here. So helping the young guys, playing as hard as I can, and for one, thanking Tibbs. Tibbs, what up?
All right, that was Derrick Rose. I'm assuming that was from Miami when he arrived in Miami. And you heard him already talking about, I know what my role is. I know what I got to do. And he mentioned helping the young guys. Like he's embraced that. Prince, talk to me, man. I'm coming to you. You feel good about what he just said there, about him embracing the young, he's embracing that role of wanting to be a mentor for the young guys.
It's crazy, man. I love tooting your horn, bro. Pause. You know what I'm saying? But again, bro, you spoke to it. You spoke to it last week when we spoke about it. You said that you could not see Derrick Rose going out west. You didn't see him going anywhere else. And it's funny, like I said, I'm gonna start calling you Nostradamus. You need to start putting some Powerball numbers out in the chat, man. Maybe we get some more likes. Make sure y'all pound that like button. But all seriousness, I'm definitely loving Derrick Rose's mentality. I wish he would have had the same mentality when he was here with the first on his first stint. But again, I kind of understood where he was. He still felt like he had some left in the tank. So he thought that, the old Derrick Rose could still be. I think, maybe him working with Phil and them and then going back out to Minnesota, it truly gave him a chance to really see that, again, he needed to grow up. He needed to start, looking for the future as far as giving back to the younger guys. Because, again, I remember, if I'm not mistaken, it wasn't quoted, but it was said that he said that he didn't have time to, take Frank Ntilikina, and I forgot who else we had at the time under his wing, but maybe he didn't want to take Frank Ntilikina under his wing. So, you know what I'm saying? So
I didn't say one word about Knox. You messing with me. All right.
I'm just saying. It ain't a slight. I'm just saying, because
I'm
again,
messing with you.
when you mature as a man, and I'm pretty sure as a player, I'm pretty sure, he's seen a lot of ways where he was arrogant, and I'm pretty sure this time he's going to come in with that veteran mentality that he just wants to be, give as much game as he can, help us win games, help, basically be that mouth on the floor for players when they don't understand Tibbs' system and things that, he knows that Tibbs would like to do as far as nuances and little wrinkles in the playbook. So, again, I really believe, I think it's going to be a great addition for us. Now, again, like you said, Sim, I don't know how the shuffle breaks down with the Austin Rivers and our boy Elf. But again, if it's me, I'm probably going to I'm shipping Austin, either to one of those LA teams or, send him back to the Clippers. Who else could use him? Maybe, I don't know if San Antonio's doing pretty good, but I would love to trade him down there to Keldon, trade him for Keldon Johnson or one of their guards that San Antonio has. Maybe they want some veteran leadership. But honestly, I hadn't even really thought about it. Sim, you kind of put me on the hot seat with that one. But I will keep thinking. But again, we all see and know that it's the writing's on the wall. And if the writing is true, let Rose start, and let Quickly back up and get those minutes. And then I guess whoever we keep out of Elf and Austin Rivers, let them sit next to Theo Pinson and wave towels, man.
Yeah, about the Rose starting, if he's gonna end up starting, it really doesn't matter to me. I don't think it definitely wouldn't be right away. But if you read an article that's in the New York Post, according to sources, he wanted to come off the bench while he was in Detroit. Okay, so he may still just say, "Hey, let me come off the bench for this season. We'll see what happens next year." I'm pretty sure. I feel pretty confident that he's going to want to come back. Like I was saying a couple weeks ago when we were talking about Derrick Rose, and people were saying, why wouldn't he go sign to a contender? And I was just like, I don't think he wants to. The only other place he'd want to be is in New York with Tom Thibodeau, just the person that he is, right? He likes continuity. The first time he was here, he hadn't been away from Chicago, so that was a big issue. He had that whole court case looming over his head. That was a big issue, and there was a lot of stress on his head. He's grown up. He's different. You can hear it in the way that he speaks and things that he says, very introspective. And being in New York, I think, was with the Knicks, was what was going to be comfortable for him. But it sounds like he's not really worried about if he's the starter or not. I don't think that's, a big thing for him. He just wants the ball. So I don't think that's a big issue. But Kev, how do you feel about what you just heard him saying?
I don't like it. I love it. I love it. Whenever you hear a player, even I'll throw Austin Rivers in there. Whenever you hear a player talk about in a positive light of our team, you can do nothing but, be overjoyed, to hear that, because for so long we've been hearing from people how we're a dumpster fire, how we're toxic, the organization itself. And it's great to hear players say, this is a good place to play at, and, wanting to play for us. So for him saying that, I'm really, really intrigued to see what he's going to bring to us. I think he's going to bring leadership. You can never have too little leadership. I think he's going to bring that leadership. I think we're going to get positive production from him as far as points, as far as organization for the second unit, and if need be, the first unit. I think this is a really, really good start. I think what happened, how many years ago was that when he was here? How many years? Was it 4 years maybe?
16, 17?
2000.
16, 17,
Okay.
17, 18 maybe?
Yeah, 16,
one of those two.
Yeah.
Right.
So much stuff was going on back then. The main thing was that they were forced to run the triangle. Something that they didn't, a lot of them weren't comfortable doing. So now you're in a system that you pretty much know, because you've been with this coach, I'm going to say forever. You're going to feel comfortable, with the players that you're playing with. And I just think it's going to be a really good start, for him. And I'm not looking for him to, sky, for him to throw it down or any of that. I just want just good production, taking great shots, and just helping our young guys out. Yeah, and I think that's going to be really, that's going to be good for us.
Yeah, and talking about helping out the young guys, he's already started making a connection with the young guys. This is Emmanuel Quickly on Derrick Rose, and apparently Derrick Rose has already gone out to dinner with Emmanuel Quickly and Derrick Rose to talk about his role and how he can be of help to him. This is Quickly.
13, 14-year vet in the league, so anytime you can get a chance to pick somebody's brain who's been through pretty much everything, playoffs, everything, as far as, MVP, just really everything. Like I said, it's always a good chance to learn from somebody who's been through, who has experience. That's the best teacher. So just picking his brain as far as everything he's been through, everything he knows about the game is something that I'm looking forward to. And
So
I got a chance to talk.
Oh, hold up. Let me bring that back because I missed a piece of it. Let me bring it back.
13.
Let's see. There we go.
Last night at dinner, a little bit. He just stressed to me. First of all, he gave me his number. He said anything I need, just hit him. But he sat down with me a little bit. Me and Obi actually just told us, he's here to help us. He's here to help us grow, things like that. So, it's good to just get a chance to talk to him a little bit last night.
Now, see, that right there is already huge. Okay, to immediately sit down with the 2 first-round draft picks and have a meeting with them and say, I'm here to help you grow. Anything that you need, you can come to me. I'm not sure that every veteran actually does that. I'm not sure that every veteran comes to a team, or when a new guy comes to the team, sits down, has dinner with him and says, let's talk about why I'm here, how I'm going to help you. Yeah, they get in the media and they say, yep, I'm trying to give this guy a little bit of knowledge here, a little bit of knowledge there. But is it intentional? Like what you just heard from Derrick Rose was very, very intentional. I'm going to sit down with you. We're going to talk about it. I'm going to let you know, Emmanuel Quickly, I'm not here to stunt your growth. I'm here to help your growth. That's got to be huge for a guy like Emmanuel Quickly. A rookie, a guy like Derrick Rose comes in and he automatically comes to you. You don't even have to go to him. He comes to you to say, I'm here to help you. I'm not here to stunt you. Right? That's exactly what you're looking for and what you need from a veteran point guard or any veteran player. So I was glad to hear that. Josh, I want to ask you about rotations, then I'm going to come to Steph. How do you see the rotations being impacted?
Not too much at all, if at all. I think somebody's minutes is going to get cut. And I think it's going to be someone that is not effective in the rotation as it is. So, Frank's not playing in the rotation, so that's not a big deal there. And I just think it's asinine for people to worry about Emmanuel Quickly and Derrick Rose potentially stunting his growth. Listen, Emmanuel Quickly came out of nowhere and was able to get on the floor, by himself. You know what I'm saying? And I say by himself, meaning his talent was able to take over. There was nobody that stunned Emmanuel Quickly's growth. So I just think people out there that are saying that, Derrick Rose could potentially, get Emmanuel Quickly off the court. Listen, these guys are going to play together. Derrick Rose can only make Emmanuel Quickly get better. And I think that, Derrick Rose is going to replace Austin Rivers' time in the rotation. So I don't think it's going to impact the rotation, not that much, if at all. Derrick Rose is going to get his minutes. And Austin Rivers' minutes is going to get cut. The Knicks are actively shopping them. So, nothing drastic is going to change as far as Quickly is concerned.
Do you think that Derrick Rose is going to end up being a starting point guard for the Knicks eventually?
I would be surprised. I would be surprised if that happens because, listen, Elfrid Payton's outplaying his contract. People expect Elfrid Payton to be this great point guard for us, but that's not who Elfrid Payton is, and Derrick Rose is not that either. So I really don't see any event where Derrick Rose takes over for Elfrid Payton. I'm not going to go as far as to say I think Elfrid Payton's going to be back here next year, but I think Thibodeau is very consistent with those rotations. He's not going to do anything that much to change anything. And Derrick Rose is going to have a spot on the bench with Quickly as the mentor and mentee, and him the mentor.
Right. And I think that as far as next year, when I'm saying it about next year, I think it depends on what happens with the point guard situation in free agency. I think if the Knicks don't pick up another point guard, you know what I'm saying? Then there's going to be Elfrid Payton to be here. You know what I mean? Because he's been, you know, like it or not, he's been kind of productive for the New York Knicks. Not as productive as we all hoped he could be, but he's been kind of productive for the Knicks. You know what I mean? Big Bubba.
And fans don't want to admit that either. Elfrid Payton's been playing really, really, you know, outplaying his contract. He's worth he's worth way more than $5 million right now.
Yeah, he's been productive. Big Bubba. Coming to you, man.
Hey, real quick, Sim, let me ask you a question. If
good job, Kev.
Yeah, I had to for you. No, I'm just kidding. But just real quick, if we get that number 1 pick from Dallas, if we get number 1 pick and we pick Cade, that solves our point guard situation. No, right or wrong?
Well, now, you don't know because you don't know what he's going to do when he gets into the NBA. So you can't say if it solves anything. You know, to be honest with you. But Big Bubba, do me a favor. What's poo backwards?
Big Bubba lifted.
Come on, man. Don't hold out. Don't hold out on me now. What is poo backwards? You taking too long.
Food for 500, Alex. Food.
Wait, you said poo backward?
What is
if you don't get this, ain't watching Say no more.
What is jeopardy on you?
Poo.
Food.
Poo.
Pooh.
P-O-O-H.
Like Winnie the Pooh.
What is poo backwards? Come on, Big Bubba.
I know what it is.
All right, what is it?
You don't need to know. Yo, chill. If you know, I know.
Well, what is it? I'm waiting.
I'm waiting for you. Nah, come on, man. I know it's who. Come on, baby. Come on now, baby. Come on now. You still trying to think about it.
Yeah, you better not Google that one. I'm gonna put you on blast.
Why you think he was putting this off and saying all that? He was Googling it. He was Googling it the whole time.
I'm gonna Google it when I don't got my phone right now.
You had Alexa or something back there.
Yeah.
Hey, well, I'm not gonna.
I don't got Alexa.
Well, I'm not gonna bust on you when I got my man Sim to do that for me.
Yeah. First and foremost, shout out to everybody here. Please get them likes up. We got like 400 people on here and only got like 70 likes. So get them likes up. Also, man, me and Guillermo, shout out to my brother Guillermo, man. We did 3BL. 3BL last night. It was really great.
Good job. I saw it. God bless. I appreciate myself.
I appreciate you, bro. Shout out to Simia, everybody that was there. Mike Morgan, everybody that was there last night was really good talking the Super Bowl, talking Jets and Giants. And we're going to definitely do a lot more videos, especially right now. It's going to be downtime for football, but we're going to pick it right back up soon. We're going to be talking about the combine and the draft. You know, again, if you guys want to come down to the PBL, we just don't talk Giants and Jets. We talk anybody sports teams. And it's going to be good, man. It's only going to be going up from now, you know? So thanks to everybody for that.
All right. So talk to us, man. Lineup changes. Lineup changes. Then I'm coming to Steph. Any lineup changes?
I'd have to disagree with Josh a little bit. Elfrid Payton's been okay. He hasn't, played past his contract. He's been okay. But when it comes to lineup change, I don't believe there's not going to be a lineup change. I think Elfrid Payton's going to play. I think he's going to play. I think he's going to be the starting point guard for the rest of the year. So sorry for some people to say that.
So let me ask you this. If he's a starting point guard on your team, you don't think that's outplaying your $5 million contract?
Not really. I mean, it's just more about comfort and more, they're playing, they have cohesiveness. Elfrid Payton's
let's be real. That lineup is he's the starting point guard, and I know there's a lot to be desired with Elfrid Payton. I'm not saying that anything, but he's a starting point guard on one of the best defenses in the league, and the lineup that he plays on has outscored their opponents. That lineup has outscored their opponents so far throughout this season. So, he's doing what he needs to do in that lineup.
Yeah,
Let's say that.
I guess. I mean, he's
He
again,
can make his,
he's-
if he could make his layups a little bit more, the team, maybe have a couple more wins. I could say that because, the one thing that I asked the other day when I was on Legion of the Knicks podcast is that instead of him taking those floaters in the lane, he go all the way to, maybe I think it was Legion Knicks, he go all the way to the basket. Stop taking floaters, just go all the way to the cup. He'd have more success.
Because he can get to the cup. He can get to the cup.
Yeah, last game he went all the way to the cup a couple times and he still missed the layup. And I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
I guess he just has no touch.
Yeah, I mean, again, right?
I don't know what it is, man. But if he could convert those I guess it's because his name is Alfred. But if he could convert those layups, it looked entirely different. But I don't know what it is. The guy has no touch. But go ahead.
Yeah, again, right? It's Alfred Payton. It is what it is. So I do think the second unit to me, him having dinner with Alfred Payton. I mean, not Alfred. Him having dinner with Emmanuel Quickly and Obi Toppin to me kind of signify where he's going to be at. He's going to be in the second unit. He's going to be starting with Emmanuel Quickly, and I think he wants to build a cohesiveness. And I'm actually glad he went to dinner with Obi Toppin, man, because Obi Toppin is in dire need of a point guard, and he definitely needs a guy to run that pick and roll with him to get him more easier shots. So I definitely think he's going to be in the second unit. So Austin Rivers is like he's going to be out of there. Again, right? Austin Rivers, if he's not playing Utah, he's kind of useless. Yeah, man, I think it's definitely Austin's out of the way, and then it's going to be a lineup of D Rose and Emmanuel Quickly in the backcourt. It's going to be a very small backcourt. And that's actually going to be a very small second unit, if you want to be honest, between Quickly and D Rose and Nolan Noel and Alex B. It's going to be a very small, shifty,
that's what
unit.
it's been.
It's already small.
It's already been. That's what it's already been. It's been the same thing.
So yeah.
Yeah. Real quick, Cornerstone. Then I want to come to Steph.
Yeah, just real quick. What does Austin Rivers? What is the attraction to him to playoff teams? You know what I'm saying?
I think the thing is,
well, I thought we would have experience here. I thought he was going to bring that experience here. And like Isaiah said, aside from the two Utah games, he hasn't brought anything.
Well, the thing is,
I disagree with that.
The thing is the role, right? On this team,
right.
He's had expected to have an expanded role a little bit, score a little bit more. On a playoff team or a contender, his role is going to be very limited. Come in, play some defense, knock down a three here, there. If we really need you to back up our point guard because somebody's hurt, then, we'll expand your role to that. His role was a little bit bigger on the Knicks, and I don't think he could actually handle that. You know what I'm saying? So okay. I think that's what it is.
All right.
Now, looking at an article from Mark Berman, one of the things that was said in the article, and let me get that out the way for you. One of the things that was said in the article is that it said it makes sense, and there's a lot of pressure for the organization. They feel they need to win, one NBA executive familiar with the Knicks thinking said. It's not okay just to play better than last season and progress. Let me say it that way. That's not good enough. There's internal pressure that they want to win. It doesn't matter whose minutes Rose takes. They just want to win. He's still got a tremendous ability to score, right? So my question to you, Steph, and, I don't know if that's your grandbaby there, but congratulations either way.
A limited amount of time. I'm at my sister's house with two dogs, two toddlers, a newborn. So I don't know.
Oh my God.
I don't know how much time I got. So I'm gonna try to make it quick.
Well, the baby sounds beautiful anyway. The baby sounds beautiful anyway. Glad to have the baby on the show.
I only got about this much time.
Yeah. Do you think there's pressure on the team to win now? So do you think there's pressure on the team?
Yes, absolutely. I wouldn't even call it pressure. I just think that's what you're supposed to do every season. You're supposed to try to win. We're in a position to do that, and they're trying to increase our chances. If I hear anyone else on Twitter, I got to stay off Twitter or in the chat talking about somebody taking a young person's minute, I'm going to need a few mental health days. I think it's just driving me crazy. You don't get on the court. No coach puts a player in, you know what? This player needs some development. Let me put him in because we need to develop him 2-3 years down the line. Let me put him in now. No, the coach is saying, even with Obi can help us right now. Let's get him some minutes, see if we can get him open. The way he passes out the post, that's going to help our team. If we can get some offense, that's going to help. That's why Obi's in there. The same thing with Quickly. Wow, this guy could shoot foul shots down the stretch. If he gets fouled, you know, he's a good chance of making it. He can shoot. He could give firepower to our second unit. That's why he's playing, because they can help us right now. Not, oh, let's put him in there to develop him for 2-3 years down the line. And if I hear one more person talk about stunting the development of somebody, I think I'm going to lose my mind. You play to win and you develop while you're playing to win. And learning how to win is a part of development.
So to your point, to your point, Steph, to your point. So you don't think that that applies to Kevin Knox?
The Kevin Knox is, well, now I thought about this.
Okay.
You guys got me thinking about basketball more than I should when I'm not even on the show. But I thought about this. It's plus minus. It's plus minus.
To the MBK
right.
Don't be starting no fights either, man. Don't be starting no fights, bro.
I love her points. I love her thinking.
But listen, I think it's plus minus. You know, they put Knox in because of his jump shooting, being able to spread the floor. He was being efficient. He can help us now with that jump shot. Let's put him in. But then when the minuses started coming, his defense, his not being aggressive, they had to weigh the plus and minuses for now and said, you know what, let's take him out of the rotation. If they were thinking about he needs minutes for 2 and 3 years down the line, he would still be playing. But that's not what it's about. You want to develop, you go to the G League. You develop in the offseason. You develop, you know, before and after games. You don't
sit on the bench and watch.
You sit on the bench and watch. You don't develop on the court. But let me just preface that when I say you don't develop on the court, meaning they're not giving you minutes solely to develop on the court. They're putting you in because you can help the team. And as part of that process, you will grow. That's what I'm saying.
Well, Steph, just wait, hold on, Sam. I want to say one thing, just to play devil's advocate a little bit, right? Because because I'm a very advocate on winning, and winning helps you. But here's the thing about the NBA, right? Here's the thing about, she sounds really cute. Here's the thing about the NBA. There's something worse than being a tanking team, and that is being in purgatory. That is being in purgatory. Purgatory.
Spell that, Isaiah.
Before we move any further,
Andy. Out of all people, Andy, don't you betray me, Judith. Don't you betray me. No, but so look, right? It's really tough. It's really tough because
we haven't had good draft picks anyway. We've been doing this for 8 years, 10 years. It hasn't worked for us. It's not like we didn't try it. We tried it.
I don't think that applies to us. I don't think purgatory applies to us. I don't think it applies to us at all.
Right.
Well, okay, not right now.
Here's why I say it, though, because I know where you're going, right? Here's why I say it. And for whatever reason, I posted this on Twitter earlier today, I think. People will look at another team. I seen someone make a post, and they said the Miami Heat played Duncan Robinson, played Tyler Hero, played Bam Adebayo, played Kendrick Nunn, played all their young guys compared to the Knicks not playing their young guys, right? Would you agree with that, Isaiah? Just say yes or no.
Yeah.
Okay, you would agree with that. Okay, good. Because Duncan Robinson is 26 years old. Kendrick Nunn is 25 years old. Bam Adebayo is 23 years old. Tyler Hero is 21. So let's look at the Knicks. Julius Randle is 26 years old. Elfrid Payton is 26 years old. Right? Mitchell Robinson is 22 years old. R.J. Barrett is 21 years old. Now, Miami has one rookie. He played 9 minutes against us. We have two rookies. One of them played 17 minutes. The other one played 9 minutes. So if you can agree that Miami played their young guys, then you have to agree that our young guys have been playing. You have to. Hold on. Wait a minute. I'm gonna let you go. And if you're gonna look at Kendrick Nunn and Duncan Robinson as young guys, and you just said yes, you would agree that they played their young guys, then you gotta look at Julius Randle as a young guy too. Elfrid Payton as well. If Kendrick Nunn is a young guy and he's 25 years old, then Payton, you can't say one team has young guys who are 26 and 25 and then say the Knicks don't have young guys who are 26 and 25.
Well, no, I never said I should have never said that. We do have, our team's young.
But
our team's
that's
we don't have an old team.
Right, so that's what I'm saying. How can we be how can we be entering purgatory?
No, Sam. I didn't say we're in purgatory. I said
you don't want to be in purgatory.
What I said was I don't want to be in purgatory because here's my thing is because look, right? You can talk about the Miami Heat, but then you have teams like the Magic. And before people say we're not the Magic, well, we're not. Okay, well, we're not. But look what the Magic had done. How many years have the Magic been in the playoffs? How many years have they been the 7th, 8th seed? How many times have they have decent games and they haven't gone in? And I'm not saying because this is why it doesn't apply to us. But Sam, hold on. I'm not saying that the lottery is the end all be all. I'm not saying that because again, you have to win. You have to have a perfect balance. You got to actually kind of be like how the Miami Heat were, how they still won but got good talent. But I'm just saying you don't want to be stuck where you're only going 7th, 6th, 8th seed, and you're just going first round exits. You're playing an extra 4 to 5 games a season and not doing it.
You're still going to get a good draft pick, though.
But why are you bringing that up for the Knicks right now? Why are you saying that right now for the Knicks?
Because
that's why I'm bringing it up. Why are you saying that in regard to the New York Knicks?
I like Derrick Rose. I really do. I like Derrick Rose. I really do. But my thing is that's right. If we're gonna, let's say we go with how you feel, right? Let's say we're going with Derrick Rose, which most likely we're gonna resign next year.
Quickly, come on.
And then if we go for a Kyle Lowry, then we're recycling old guys that are past their prime.
Listen. No. See, you have to understand when you have a team that is in this purgatory that you're talking about, they usually have two guys that are making $30 million but can only get them to the 8th seed, right? They got 2-3 guys that are making all this money and they're locked up for 4 or 5 years and can only get them to the 8th seed. The Knicks are not in that situation by any means. Derrick Rose makes $7.7 million. If it don't work out, you let it go. You don't have to worry about it. You know what I'm saying?
Payton's making $5.
Payton's making $5 on a 1-year contract. Right? And it's not like he's 32 years old. He's 26. You know what I'm saying? But still, if you don't want him, you don't like it, you let him go. So we're not in that kind of purgatory because we have draft picks, we have cap space, and all of our players, our highest paid players, Julius Randle at $19 million, and we have a team option going into next season. So that doesn't really apply to us, even if you bring in Derrick Rose. Well, we've already brought him in.
But
it doesn't apply to what we're doing. You're talking about the $19 million now, but that's 1 year. Then after that, we're gonna.
After that, we have a team option. You can get off of a bad contract at any time.
Yeah, after that, we have a team option where we pay him $19 million next year. What I'm saying is we're not in that situation right now. Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. It's a one. I know, Sam. I'm not. Sam, so I don't think you understand what I'm saying. No, I'm not saying the Knicks. I'm not saying the Knicks are. I'm not saying the Knicks are in purgatory now, but I'm saying I don't want the Knicks to position themselves to be a purgatory team. Where we're just hovering around.
We're not positioning ourselves that way.
I just don't understand. I just don't understand why I'm bringing it up because we're not. It's not like we don't even have one large contract. So that's why I don't understand how you bring that right now. We have draft picks. We have We have 4 draft picks
Cap
over the
space.
next however many years. We have cap space. We have all these second round picks in 2023, which is going to be one of the deepest drafts.
So Sam,
I just don't know how you set it up.
Can I actually? So I mean, and I don't want to deter completely off the subject, but how far do you think Randall puts you over? Like, how far do you think he gets you?
It's
like,
not about.
Where's your projection?
Well, right now we're in the 8th spot in the playoffs. That's where we're at right now.
Exactly.
And we're one of the youngest
only making $19 million.
And we're one of the youngest teams in the league. It's not about where Randall gets you. It's about making yourself competitive. So if Randall continues to ascend, then you see where it goes. You don't know. He might continue to ascend, but you make yourself competitive so you can bring in other players if need be. And you already have the cap flexibility. You already have draft capital. And you have all the assets to make those moves. It's not about how far will Randall get you. It's can Randall and this team make you competitive so the other players look and say, I want to go there. That's what it's about.
Yeah, we're in a great position.
Leaving the flexibility for later. Back when the Knicks had Allen Houston, that was purgatory because they were around the 8th seed or less than the 8th seed, but Allen Houston had this huge contract, and you had other guys that had these contracts.
Marbury.
We don't have.
And there was no way to move.
Hey,
and there was no way to
prime
move.
example, Washington Wizards, that's purgatory.
That's absolutely.
That's purgatory.
Oh, absolutely.
You know what I mean?
But Divine, though. All I'm saying is, right? Okay, you saw the Wizards, right?
Yeah.
There was one point when they weren't in that. Then they had a young Bradley Beal, a young John Wall, and then they had mistakes that led them. I'm not saying the Knicks are going to make mistakes. I'm not saying that. I just.
What's your biggest fear?
What's the option? What's the other option? What's the alternative?
Yeah, what's your biggest fear? Just tell me what your biggest fear is.
My biggest fear is that we get stuck in purgatory where, yes, we have Julius Randle, yes, we have RJ Barrett, but is that enough to get us to the hump? Because we're not going to know
for another year or two.
Hey, Isaiah, but like Sim said, that's why we got all that cap space to add to them.
But
I'm still maintaining flexibility. I think Scott Perry gonna put us in a position now. Scott Perry said we're gonna be financially, fiscally responsibility from here on out, and that's what he's doing.
Yeah.
Scott Perry.
It's easy to say that when some players are not. You don't got RJ that's under, about to get paid. When Randall doesn't have to get paid. When somebody Mitchell Robinson doesn't have to get paid. It's easy to say cap flexibility now because these players don't have to get paid.
Let me say this.
I'm not trying to be a deterrent, but I'm just saying. I'm just thinking about the future ahead because I want us to win a championship in the next 5 years. That's
what are we doing that you think is getting in the way of us being able to do that? Because we signed Derrick Rose to a half a year contract, even if he doesn't resign for a second round draft pick. Like, you think that's what's going to keep us?
And look at the recent history. We could have offered Gordon Hayward a crazy amount of money and probably stolen from Charlotte, but they did not because they want to stay away from those type of contracts that bog you down and don't allow you to grow.
Unless it's the right person.
And I can honestly say that they've done a good job with doing that as well.
Right. So, I don't know if purgatory applies to us right now. Right now, we're a team that's on the rise.
I think we've been in purgatory already. I think we was in purgatory already. We're coming out of it.
We're coming out of it.
This is the most optimistic. You guys remember back in the offseason, I didn't think the Knicks had a chance to do, any of this stuff. This is the most optimistic I've been about the Knicks in a long time.
Right.
Yeah. And your tune has changed, and I love it.
Let me get we one play away from the 4th seed.
Right. We're actually only like a couple games out of the 4th seed. A couple games out of the 3rd seed in the East, for real. But let me get to this phone call, then we're going to start breaking down this game. Calling you live. What's popping? What's going on, man?
What's good, family?
I'm good. I'm feeling good. How about you?
Well, all is well. It's always a good day when listening to some Knicks chat and so forth and new acquisitions and stuff like that. And D Rose.
Right.
But I was listening a little bit, and let me first say, thank God for Steph, because we need fans out here that's thinking about going to the playoffs and thinking about winning and not trying to force young guys who are not ready necessarily to be a part of a winning situation. You see, I'm listening a while ago. First, let me cut the pleasantries, because I'm listening a while ago, and I'm listening to Isaiah and I don't know who else was before him, and talking about purgatory and nonsense, because all you guys want to do is go back to the lottery. I'm sick of it with you dudes, yo. The dudes is ridiculous. Y'all want to go to that 7, 8, 9, 10 seed for what? You would rather not go to the playoffs? Do I need to remind people that the 99 Knicks were an 8th seed that went to the finals? Okay? Denver, an 8th seed, once beat Seattle. 8 beat 1.
Yep.
It's ridiculous. You have to be in the playoffs to get somewhere.
Yep.
It's ridiculous. This thought process of Kevin Knox's of the world and comparing our young talent against Miami's young talent, you know what the whole thing is? Their young talent is better than our young talent. Sound crazy. You got no one to cut bait. I wasn't the biggest dude trying to get D Rose back on the team, because I still remember him quitting. And I don't care what no one says. I think he quit because he didn't want to do the triangle. That's a whole other story. But D Rose is a better option at the point guard than what we already have. Because what? He can shoot. He can score.
He can score.
Like, trying not to go to the playoffs, as the article that you read, trying not to go to the playoffs, what's that going to do for you? Dolan's going to call you in the office a year later. He's going to fire you.
Yep.
Okay?
Yep.
Because why? You sold him a good. You sold him something that says, this is how we're going to get to the playoffs. And he's going to fire you.
Yep.
Period. See what I'm saying? So trying not to get to the playoffs, keep going back to, we're gonna build for this guy. We're going to project to look at that guy, to look at that guy. Why? I don't care if I get swept in the playoffs. I want to go to the playoffs.
That's it.
Period.
And our guys
You know
need
what
that
I'm saying?
experience.
That's all it is. I want to go to the playoffs. I don't care if he's getting blown out. I want to go to the playoffs. I want the lights to be on. That's it. Period.
Yeah, I'm with you 100%,
know
bro.
what it is.
I appreciate you, man.
100%.
I'm with you 100%.
All right, fam.
Appreciate it. Yeah, man. I want to get there too. Let's break down.
I
Let's
hope
break
you
down
wasn't
this
talking
game.
about. Hey, I hope you wasn't talking about me.
Wait, Sam. Can I say one thing, Sam? No, because like people are trying to like, okay, I think people are really not understanding.
We understand what you're saying.
I did not say the Knicks are in purgatory. I did not say that.
We heard that.
What I said was it just, I don't want the Knicks moves that they're doing right now to lead us to being the Wizards or being the Charlotte Hornets all those years. And
we heard you.
It's just, I want to, we all want a championship. I want a championship. And I do trust the front office. I like the move they're doing. I just get worried about. I understand that I understand that, you know, being the 8th seed, being the 7th seed would be really great this year. I really do. But again, right then next year, do we do win now moves? Do we do to continue?
Yes, piece by piece, step by step.
Absolutely, you have to.
But all I'm saying is that I understand that we're Knicks fans and we don't see that it could be purgatory. But again, this all I'm saying is that you had teams like the Wizards who had a young Bradley Beal, young John Wall. They had cap space. They had all these things. And what did they do? They went to go get Paul Pierce. They paid Gortat. They paid all these dudes.
Isaiah, how do you spell PTSD? How do you spell PTSD?
Right.
But okay, I'm not trying to be funny right now. I'm not trying to be funny.
It just didn't work out, and it's a possibility it won't work out. But you still got to go for it. We still have to go for it. It may not work out, but you still got to go.
You still got to go.
Look at the championship teams that's in the NBA. How many of them are made up of rookies? How many of them have a team full of players that they drafted?
Oh, the Golden State Warriors.
Well,
the last five finals MVPs have come via trade or free agency.
Yep.
The last 5.
The last 5 finals MVP.
And if you ask me, LeBron should have won it the year that they lost, so that would have made it 6.
And when Golden State won their first,
does that even count because he was in Cleveland?
But when Golden State won their first championship, how many years was Steph and Clay in the league already?
I mean,
5.
What Clay came in 2011. Steph came in 2009. So
but they had to add players around those three.
Yeah, David Lee and all them. Yeah,
I get what you're saying. But hold up, no, stop. Hold up. I get what you're saying about Golden State, but let's talk about every other team, every other championship team besides Golden State.
Right.
Because actually they are the outliers.
Who gave up all of their young players to put a chip? They gave up everybody.
Toronto.
You know, I mean, you have even with the San Antonio Spurs. Even with the Spurs, even with the Spurs, there's only a couple guys. Everybody else on their team, everyone else on their team were free agents or through trades. You had Tim Duncan, Tony Parker.
I get it, Sam. I just listen. I'm gonna be quite frank. I'm gonna be quite honest with you. I don't think the Knicks can do. I don't think the Knicks can really move forward when one day you're gonna have to pay Julius Randle $30 million, and
you don't have to. Who you get, you're gonna have to pay somebody.
You don't have to pay him $30 million.
Somehow.
You get Julius Randle. You have
so
him
you
now.
get Julius Randle for 1 year. You get Julius Randle for 1 year next year for $19 million. And what he's going to demand? He's going to demand $30 million.
You don't get it.
You're going to have to pay somebody, though.
Listen to what I'm saying. Listen to what I'm saying. You get to a certain point, right? And you're good. And now you determine, is he worth it or not? If you don't think he's worth it, you don't pay him. You find someone else to take that spot. Or you give him a short contract.
Right.
But you gotta put yourself in a competitive position. You know what I'm saying? Scared money don't make money. If you don't put your money out there, you ain't getting paid.
I like that.
That's right.
Scared money don't make money. I like that.
You're not getting paid. But you can't sit there and just think that every single year we're just gonna get young guys and not have to pay nobody, because half those young guys not gonna be on your team. You might get 3 of them that's still on your team. So maybe we still got R.J. Barrett, Mitchell Robinson, and Emmanuel Quickly. Right? So you still got 3 young guys. You still got to pay other guys to go around them. Every other championship team, the Nets, they don't have anybody that they drafted as a primary player.
Nobody.
The Lakers,
and they're championship contenders.
The Lakers, nobody.
Yeah.
Right, you look at Philadelphia, they got
the Lakers,
2.
That's what the Lakers do, though.
But no. You look at Philadelphia, they got 2. Everybody else came via trade or free agency. Who else are contenders out there? And Utah Jazz, they got 2. Right, Donovan Mitchell, Rudy Gobert.
Yeah.
All right, it's not like we don't have 2 guys that we're building with. At least 3 guys, 4. We got Obi, RJ, Quickly, Mitch. We got young guys that we're building with. That's why I don't understand the narrative.
I got you, Sim. I'm just.
We're gonna move on from this. Go ahead, Andy. I don't understand the narrative.
I just wanted to add I just wanted to, tell Isaiah that even if we sign guys to like max contracts, look what the Golden State Warriors did, right? They got KD. He signed the max. They signed and traded him for D'Angelo Russell, right? He had a maximum contract then. They flipped him for Wiggins, and now they're going to flip Wiggins for someone else. And they are in a bad cap situation, but they can flip those players basically easy for a little bit lower salary players and then go, straight out their cap situation.
Yep. So
it's not like it fears many teams. It fears only the small market teams that are afraid to paying the taxes, that they can't afford, staying in that salary cap, hell. But for the Knicks, I don't think that's even an issue. So even if we have like 4 max guys, we still can flip one around as the missing piece to the puzzle.
Right.
And again, that's the reason why Leon Rose put these guys strategically. I apologize, Prince. 1 second. Strategically in the position that they are. He got World Wide West. He got a capologist. All these things, are helping so that we don't do the wrong thing. All right. But like Sim said, you got to spend money to make money. Is that what you said?
Don't make
Scared money don't make money.
No money.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
But dumb money mess you up too.
Say again?
Dumb money mess you up too.
But if you don't spend no money, you don't have no chance. If you don't take the shot, you ain't making the bucket.
Right.
Bottom line,
real quick,
you don't make the shot. You don't take the shot. You ain't making the bucket. And the thing is, I just can't get the narrative. So many people, I keep seeing it everywhere. Play the young guys. We have more young guys playing on our team than any other team in the league. More young guys getting minutes on our team than any other team in the league. I just can't get it. I just don't understand it.
Barrett led the league in minutes.
And Tibbs is saying enough. If you can't help us win, I can't play it.
Everybody has that mentality, like you said. They want us to roll out, Knox, quickly, Obi, RJ, Mitch. You know what I'm saying? That's our starting lineup. Who cares about everybody else? That's not gonna that will get us right back in the lottery.
Yep.
I mean, as much as I hate to say it, that lineup we would be right back in the lottery. And I just wanted to add to Andy's point, that Golden State ticket that they traded Wiggins, they're in a potential, they may get a top 3 pick. So again, Golden State got Weissman last year. They may also get either Cade Cunningham or one of those guys to help their team also from that Wiggins trade, because again, the Timberwolves are trash right now. So again, we can't cry over spilled milk.
They have the same thing as us then, right? As Dallas?
Wow. But look, the thing is this. I'm not saying you don't grow your young guys, but that's what we are doing. Just because one of your players is not getting 30 minutes a night doesn't mean you're not growing him. RJ Barrett's playing some of the most minutes in the league in his second year. In his second year, he's playing some of the most minutes in the league. Everyone's mad because he only played 19 minutes the other day. He deserved it. He was getting his ass whipped. It happens. He comes back today better.
And we played Porzingis.
Right. I mean, Mitchell Robinson is getting 25 to 28 minutes a game. You know what I'm saying? Like, these are two young, very, very young guys. RJ's the youngest guy on our team. Emmanuel Quickly is getting his 12 to 15 minutes per game, and it's probably going to go up, right? It's skewed a little bit because earlier in the season he wasn't getting as many minutes. So it's kind of skewed. Right? His minutes are going to go up. Obi, he's still finding his footing. If you can look right now at Obi play and tell me he deserves 30 minutes, then I don't trust your basketball acumen. How about that? Because he don't deserve 30 minutes right now. You know what I mean?
No,
let him get there.
Not at all.
So, I mean, and if part of a player's development is sometimes getting benched and maybe not even being in a rotation. That's just the way it goes. But if you're gonna win, you got to find a way to grow your team, right? You grow your team by still, you keeping your young guys around, and you grow your team and you make moves to get better incrementally. That's what we're doing. I seen somebody say the Lakers develop their young guys so that they can get AD. Did they really? I mean, Julius Randle, he left because LeBron came. That's why he went to New Orleans. Right. They traded Lonzo Ball. They traded Brandon Ingram. It's not like these guys were all of a sudden these budding stars when they traded them. You know what I mean? Brandon Ingram really came to his own when he was in New Orleans. That's when he really came into his own. You know what I'm saying? Now, you can look at the Boston Celtics, right? They got a couple guys. They got Marcus Smart. They got Jason Tatum. And they got Jaylen Brown, right? That guys that came up and are still in Boston. That's 3 of them. We got 3 guys that we're trying to grow right now, plus Obi, 4 guys. And we got draft picks.
And Mitchell Robinson.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like,
money.
And money. So, but of course, they added Gordon Hayward. They added Kemba Walker. But guess what? With those 3 guys that they got, they haven't won a championship yet. They haven't been able to get over the top. They're looking to add pieces to get over the top. That's what they're looking to do.
But it's like you said, Sam, and go ahead. Sorry.
I mean, and let's put it like this. One of those guys, don't put it off the table. I don't think Jason Tatum would get moved, but don't put it off the table that if the right move came along, Jaylen Brown wouldn't get traded.
Or he might be gone anyway, so.
So, it just is what it is. It's part of the NBA.
But it's like you said, Sim, and Stephanie said as well. You've got to, when you're on the floor, you got to help the team win. It's not about developing or anything like. Well, you are still developing, but you got to help the team win, and that's what Tibbs is looking for right now. So if you're not helping, you're not going to get the time that you need. Wonder why Iggy hasn't been on the floor.
Because I
wonder how my boy hasn't been. Well,
Iggy, I don't think it's NBA material. So, but anyway, looking at tonight's game,
right?
Derrick Rose is likely not going to suit up tonight. All right. Now he's actually available. Says while Derrick Rose is in Miami and he is cleared to play, Dennis Smith Jr. has not completed his physical yet in Detroit. All right, so the Knicks have announced, but believe that means due to NBA rules, prohibit Rose from participating in the shoot-around this morning, and he's a long shot to play tonight. Honestly, even if things went perfectly, he might not have taken the floor tonight anyway. They probably would have waited until I think the Knicks play. Today's what? What's today? Tuesday. The Knicks don't play again until Friday or Saturday.
Friday.
You give Derrick Rose a couple practices so that he can get into the groove with the team before you throw him out there. Is probably a good thing. Don't look forward to seeing Derrick Rose tonight. All right, he's most likely not gonna play because I don't think Dennis Smith Jr. in the next few minutes is gonna be is gonna go through his physical and all of that. Who knows? We'll see what happens, but I wouldn't expect Derrick Rose to play tonight. Looking at the Knicks injury report, Frank Ntilikina is out. All right, according to Ian Begley, Frank Ntilikina didn't test positive for COVID, but he was in close proximity of someone with a positive test outside the organization, so he's subject to contract tracing. All right, so Frank Ntilikina has become the Knicks' first guy that has to deal with COVID. All right, leave it to Frank. Leave it to Frank to be the first guy. We trying to tell we are trying to tell Frank to leave the ladies alone at this point in time. Chill.
Away from
Come on, Frank. Come on, Frank. Take it easy, bro. Just worry about your game. Stop. I know he's probably like we were saying earlier in the chat. He's like, I ain't playing anyway. I might as well just get mine. Come on, Frank.
Right.
We get it.
Soho is a no-no.
y'all are evil.
Come on, Frank.
Evil incarnated.
Of course, like we just said, Derrick Rose is likely not to play tonight, due to the whole physical situation with Dennis Smith Jr. Nerlens Noel is day-to-day. He's questionable for tonight's game against Miami. All right, and for the Miami Heat, they got a whole list of injuries still. You got Avery Bradley, who's out with a calf injury. Gabe Vincent, he's day-to-day. He did play the last game, so he's likely to play tonight. Chris Silva is out. Maurice Harkless is out. Goran Dragic is day-to-day. Can't say what it might look like tonight. Oh, he's been ruled out. Never mind, he's ruled out for tonight's game. Then you got Myers Leonard, who is also out for tonight's game. All right, looking at the lineups between the two teams, should be very similar to the last game. Elfrid Payton and Tyler Hero will be facing off. Reggie Bullock and Duncan Robinson. Jimmy Butler and R.J. Barrett. Hopefully, last game, R.J. Barrett wasn't really guarding Jimmy Butler like that. He was guarding Duncan Robinson or Tyler Hero, however it switched off. Don't do that again, in my opinion, and this is the reason why I say that R.J. Barrett is going to be a long-term 3 in the NBA, because it's hard for him to run around those screens, fight over screens all the time, and keep moving the way that these guys move. And Miami plays fast. Their offense is fast. You know what I'm saying? And those guys move. They get around screens, and they catch the ball, and they're in the air shooting. Oh, 1 second, Kev. You got Julius Randle and Kelly Olynyk facing off, and then Mitchell Robinson and Bam Adebayo. Lineup same as last time as far as we know right now. You know what I mean? And, that's the Knicks for you. Go ahead, Kev.
So you're the coach of the Knicks. How would you play RJ well, first off, would you have RJ sticking Butler because Bullock is the one that was sticking Butler before. So what would you do?
I would have RJ defending Butler. I just think it's a better matchup for him physically. You know, obviously Butler is a more experienced player than those guys, but Reggie Bullock he's good at running around screens and doing all that kind of stuff. You know what I'm saying? I would keep that there.
Okay.
I'd let RJ defend Jimmy Butler. Go ahead, Andy.
I don't know if you guys noticed and if you saw a couple of Miami games, but Butler tends to get all of his teammates on the court involved in the first half or even, and then at the fourth quarter, he starts to go, for the baskets. Yep. So it would be way easier for RJ to stick with Butler, at least in the first half. And if Butler tends to go scoring, then you put Reggie on him. So, I think that might be a solution for the Knicks, at least the idea at the, before the ball drops, right? We're going to see it, but because, Butler might be like, okay, I got RJ on me, let me go at him, right? Because, something like that. But also, they tend to do it really, really for a long time, even in the bubble. They were doing it. So I think it's that kind of Spoelstra mentality and that kind of game plan. They just, in the first half, they just check who's hot, who's not. So they know who's going to be playing, in the second half, more minutes and taking more shots.
Yeah. Go ahead, Kev. I think you were gonna add something in there.
No, what I was gonna say was I was gonna say it was just a nightmare watching RJ chase those guys too, between Hero and Robinson, and if he's forced, if Tibbs does have him do that again, have him playing those two, I would just have RJ just stick with him, the entire game, do something, because he got torched, and I felt bad for him. I really did. I mean, I know I was, hard on Sunday, but he was just getting torched completely. And I think that kind of messed up his offensive game as well. So,
yeah,
that's what I was going to say.
And I do want to make a quick update to the lineups. I see someone in the chat, who's kind of pointed out that Kendrick Nunn is actually starting and not Tyler Hero, which to me just makes even more sense why, Elfrid Payton and Kendrick Nunn. Elfrid Payton should be okay with defending Kendrick Nunn. He can shoot the three.
Yeah.
But you got to switch Reggie Bullock and RJ Barrett. Let RJ Barrett guard Jimmy Butler and Reggie Bullock guard Duncan Robinson. This is what is here on the lineup that you see on the screen. That's not what happened in the game. In the previous game, RJ Barrett was guarding Duncan Robinson. It's just not good for. He moves too much. Duncan Robinson just moves way too much for RJ Barrett, in my opinion. The Knicks, there were a lot of threes open the last game. A lot of threes, and I think the Knicks might have to do a little bit more switching this game than they did last time to defend the way that Miami plays. They play fast. They have a lot of ball movement, a lot of guys running off screens, and it's tough to defend. They're gonna have to do a lot of chirping, a lot of talking tonight. They want to win this game. All right, looking at the matchup between the two teams.
Well, it's also like you said. Oh, okay.
Yeah. Let me check out the matchups real quick. The Knicks are averaging 102.7 points per game, while Miami is averaging, let me get it right there, 107.3 points per game. The Knicks, even in last game, they played well. Both teams played well. The Knicks averaged 46.6 rebounds per game. The Miami Heat are at 42. The Knicks gave up a lot of assists last game. The Heat averaged 25.7 assists. The Knicks 21. The Knicks gave up a lot of assists. I think it was like 30 or something like that. Both teams around 6.6 steals per game. The Knicks have 5 blocks. Miami Heat 3.8. 13 turnovers for the Knicks, 16 for Miami Heat. The Knicks are shooting at 45% from the field. Miami 47. Both teams 35% from the three-point line. Both teams about 76, 77% from the free throw line. The Knicks should be able to win the battle in the paint. We'll see. Second chance points. The Knicks they're better than Miami in second chance points up until this point, but Miami, of course, is better on the break. All right, and you guys can see who leads each team in scoring. Somehow just switched over to, well, I guess it was always Bam Adebayo who's leading them guys in scoring, and Bam Adebayo leads them in rebounding. Goran Dragic, who's not playing, leads them in assists. Julius Randle leads us as points, rebounds, and assists. Nerlens Noel and Bam Adebayo lead each team in block shots per game. When you look at the last game, though, it wasn't high scoring, but it was high octane, and that scared me like from the beginning. When it was so high octane, the Knicks gave up a lot of easy baskets, I thought, and I didn't think that was good.
Not the pace we want.
Yeah, not the pace that we want. We want missed shots. You know what I'm saying? We're a team that wants the other team to miss a lot of shots. That's the type of style that we want to play. If it's a good looking, if the game looks good, it's probably not in the Knicks' favor. Right? The Knicks excel this season at playing a dirty, scrappy type of game. Last game, Miami, they shot 48% from the field, 37% from three. They grabbed 44 rebounds, 25 assists they had, not 30. And they only had 11 turnovers. The Knicks, on the other hand, we shot 44.7% from the field. We shot 38% from three. We shot 42 threes last game. A lot of that is because Reggie Bullock, he was hot. He was 7 for 14 from the three-point line. All right, the Knicks also grabbed 44 rebounds, 23 assists. They had 12 turnovers. But, we shot 42 threes. We can't count on Reggie Bullock being hot again. And he kind of kept us there in that first half. RJ's got to step up. RJ's got to step up. One thing that I'm really looking for tonight is to see how the Knicks handle that high trap. Because that really kept our guards at bay. If you look at
that's
it,
first time you're seeing that. Yeah.
Yeah, if you look at it, none of our guards shot the ball in double digits, had double-digit attempts except for Elfrid Payton. None of them. Manuel Quickly, 4 attempts. Alec Burks, he had 9 attempts. RJ Barrett, 6. Elfrid Payton had 12 attempts. A lot of it was due to those high traps. Elfrid Payton, RJ Barrett, Quickly, Burks, they're going to have to deal with those. I don't like Burks in that trap. He was turning the ball over a few times. He just gets bottled up. He can handle the ball in certain situations, but not when they're playing that kind of pressure defense. We're going to have to figure out. I'm anxious to see how Tom Thibodeau attacks that trap, right? And what adjustments that they make. I'm going to start with you, Andy. How do we adjust to that trap?
Well, I think Tibbs was so happy, to have D Rose. He was thinking probably about getting out of those traps with D Rose.
Right.
to be true, and he's not gonna have him today. So it's gonna be either both guards, meaning Payton and Quickly, trying to split those traps, or get the ball way, way faster out of that trap. So they're not gonna let them even corral them or corner them. And I think, even though we play a small, a slow-paced game, I think if we would play a faster-paced game, it might not allow the Heat to put out those traps on us. But, I don't think what's going to hurt us more, the traps or us changing up the pace just for this game and, not being in practice with this. So it might be, more turnovers just for us trying to play fast than even, handling the traps. Also, I don't know if you noticed that playing through the big man, and I'm not only talking about Julius Randle, but also Taj Gibson had great, possessions and passing out of those, because he wasn't trapped that much. But he had, meanwhile they were trapping someone else. He had, gotten the ball and passed to cutting guys like Obi, I think Burks had a pass from Taj. So he can break up those traps as well. Just this, you should be looking to pass out to the big man, and then passing the ball even further for the hockey assist. So that's the only thing you can basically do, or just read the traps. But that's the worst part, because they try to push you to the sideline, and then they try to trap you then.
Right.
So it's order to keep the ball in the middle of the court and play a shorter version of the play you have, because if you're gonna get to the sideline, you're gonna get trapped there.
Right. I think that's a big key. Stay away from that sideline and get the ball to the middle early.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? As soon as you come up, stay in the middle of the floor. They're gonna try to push you. If you feel like you're being pushed, get that ball to the middle of the floor. Have a big man flashing, right to the top of the key. So you get it, so you can get it early, and then boom, turn around and see who's available.
That's also, Sim. That's why they have so many fast break points, because they push you to the sideline, then you try to put the ball to the middle, and then they cross the passing lane, and then they go straight for the basket. So you got to watch out on those passes.
Right. Josh?
So in regards to the trap, I mean, a lot of times this year I've seen the Knicks, and even in the last game, when they bring the ball up the floor, they dribble towards the sideline. They don't run anything through the middle as far as the guard or Julius Randle bringing the ball up the court. They just dribble straight up the sideline and start the play from there. So they need to get out of that habit and do exactly what you guys were saying. But Sim, you said something about how you didn't like that style of game for us. To me, I loved it. The intensity that game had a playoff feel. It was back and forth. It was Miami was getting us on defense. We were coming at them right back. We were trading shot for shot. I love that game for us. Even though we lost the game, I think that was a very important game for this team, this young team, for the development. I get what you're saying about the pace, but to me, I think the Knicks need to play in more games like that, because when it comes playoff time, that's going to be the norm, and we got to be able to see how our young guys can, including RJ Barrett, how we can be able to face up against teams that do that we have that type of game with.
Okay, I get what you're saying. I just think that I just get nervous that we can't keep up that pace when we're playing a team that way. Eventually we're gonna hit a lull, and that team is gonna continue to play that way. I have no problems playing that way when we had the players to do it, but we'll see. Maybe it is something. I just don't think we're gonna have Reggie Bullock hitting the way he was hitting in the first half.
I agree with that.
Normally, so we'll see how they look today. And if the Knicks have been good in making adjustments and winning the second game, but it's an important one though. We're all talking about playoffs and this and that. It's not the end all be all, but it's an important one right now. The Knicks are in the 9th seed. They're 11-14. You got Cleveland right behind us. They're 10-15. If the Knicks win this game, they can move up into the 8th seed over the Toronto Raptors, because they'll have more wins than the Raptors. So we'll see what it looks like there. Divine, what do you think about this game? Adjustments we need to make.
I think pretty much we just played the way play the game we played the last time we played them at Aldo. Like Josh said, that was a high intensity playoff game. I wasn't mad at the loss. We just got to get a little bit better shooting, but we also got to take in mind this here too. I think we're gonna have a better outcome tonight, because the last game was a back-to-back. That's why RJ and Mitchell was tied. That was a back-to-back game. And, so I can understand the energy that they lost the last game. But not being on a back-to-back, had a chance to rest their legs, go over some things, go over some film, see what they did wrong, and make some corrections. I'm pretty confident, I'm more optimistic about tonight's game prior to the one we just did, coming off a back-to-back. That's how I always think of it. But we just got to play the game we played. Hopefully Alpha Payton have a better game. Hopefully RJ get his game back, because if Alpha Payton or RJ had a decent game last time, would have been a whole different outcome, basically. Yep. So, if RJ's on point, if Alpha Payton get us them 10 points to get us over that 9-2 when he scores 10 points, I think the Knicks got a good shot, being that they're not on the back-to-back game. So I think we can make it happen tonight, man. I think we're going to see a different Knicks team tonight. I really do. I think we're going to see a more aggressive team, because them legs is not shot. You know what I mean? And there's no excuse, but that's the truth. You run too long, your legs get tired. There ain't nothing you can do about that. But I think they're going to prevail tonight, and I think they're going to go pretty hard, and I think they're going to be aggressive. And I also think that just to hire the Derrick Rose alone, not because he's playing, just that the fact that they hired him gonna have every other guy in there like, man, I ain't trying to lose my minutes. You know what I mean? Sometimes you bring a competition.
Payton.
Yeah, sometimes you bring a competition that elevates your game. You know what I mean? Like, okay,
right. Amen.
You know,
Amen.
So I think a lot of them captain like even Austin Rivers.
Yep.
He know he got to step up because he know he on a short leash. You know what I mean? So
darn right. Darn right.
Yeah. So hopefully,
he knows. He knows that. He's sitting there. As soon as that trade was made, he looked at his girlfriend and said, well, I guess you ain't got to worry about me going to the gym and you getting mad at me no more because, you know, we might be doing it in another city. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
On the Derrick Rose front, according to Mark Berman, let me get this over here right quick. Tom Thibodeau is not ruling out Derrick Rose at least being on the bench.
What?
All right. Thibodeau won't rule out Derrick Rose suiting up at least. So let's just say that. He will not rule out him suiting up. They're still waiting on physicals.
Hey, if y'all don't think that Derrick Rose might start, y'all can forget about it. Hey, that dude loves that dude. He loves Derrick Rose. So y'all can forget about it if y'all don't think Derrick Rose might not get a chance to start.
For me, if Thibs doesn't have the green light at the beginning of the game and he gets it in, at halftime, he's gonna play in the second half.
He's gonna play D-Rose, bro. D-Rose will be playing, bro.
But Derrick Rose hasn't played in a few weeks. All right, so he might need some. Yeah, he hasn't played in a few weeks. He hasn't played since late January, so he might need a little bit of time to get his wind back.
Okay.
Before he gets out there on the floor. I don't know what he's, he could be working out. Who knows? Tibbs knows that Derrick Rose understands his system, knows how to play. So
might be a blessing though. He to burn them legs out for the whole season.
Listen, if he's available,
you gonna play him?
I'm gonna be honest. If he's available, I'm not gonna put it past Tibbs to put him out there on the floor.
Yep.
Again, if you didn't hear what I said last time, or just a minute ago, and that's the wrong one, so don't worry about that one right there. Let me get it back over here. There you go. And I'm gonna take this out from the top. There. According to Mark Berman, Thibodeau won't rule out Derrick Rose suiting up. At least. Still waiting on physicals. All right? He's not going to rule it out. It could happen. Could not happen. Now, Prince, what adjustments do you think we need to make?
Tonight, Sam, definitely I think we, I don't know, it sounds crazy. And I know we haven't seen, well, actually, I think I did see Tibbs do a little bit of zone. But maybe even zone him, so we don't have to chase them around, see how the zone looks against them. If they're knocking out threes, go back to man and chase them off the three-point line. But I think, like you said, that Princeton-style offense cut, pass, and go is hard for us because we don't communicate that well. And again, it is our first time together as a unit, first season together as a unit. So, again, I think the major things that we should do tonight is I think Andy or somebody spoke to that. Divine spoke to the fact that Butler is, he's a pro. He understands his team. He understands how to get his. Kind of the same way as Julius. So again, if he is going to go with that mentality that he wants to get his guys in the game, we have to do the best job to take them out of the game. And that's individual defense. That's helping out in the gap, rotating, things of that nature. 50-50 balls, definitely. But again, I think the guy said it, I think in the chat and spoke about it, we have to want it more. I mean, there's one thing to come out there with our calling card of defense and hard play, but you still have to have that extra just grit and will to win when you in a game with a junkyard dog like the Miami Heat. They're a team that, they're good, but they understand that they're not great. So they play, harder than anybody else. So again, we have to have a little bit more grit tonight. We got to come out with a little bit more tenacity and just want it more. Like I said, I think at the end of the day, that's the word, and that's the phrase of the night is we have to want it more than Miami, or we will go down 0-2, in this back-to-back. We have to want it more so.
Yeah, I agree with you. I definitely agree with you. We got to want it. We know the game's going to be fast. We got to come out ready to play fast. Kev?
Real quick, are there fans allowed in that arena?
I believe so, yes.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So we might have some Knicks fans in there. So because usually Knicks fans are always coming down to Miami. So,
Savvy D is going to be in there.
Miami.
Savvy's going to be there.
Oh, he is? Oh, I'm going to hit him up then. Okay, cool.
Savvy's going to be in the building. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Everything that everyone else has said, we got to come out with the intensity. We got to come out with the fire. Divine is right. We did play these guys on a back-to-back. So going at the pace that they did, I could see why we came up short on Sunday. So now you have, all right, so you have like pretty much a day or so to readjust, re-examine, and go through some drills and everything. The one matchup that I'm looking for, Mitch has got to come up strong against Adebayo, man. I mean, Adebayo is not the Joker. He is not Drummond. He is not the unibrow. He has got to come up against this guy and do something. I'm not asking him to, score, 20 points or anything, but he's got to make it difficult for Adebayo to get his shots, because some of the shots that Adebayo was getting and making, I was like, Mitch, where you at, man? So that's the one matchup that I'm looking forward to seeing how Mitch, counteracts what he's doing. So, but yeah, let's just, come out and just have the game of our lives and, play like it's the last game of the season and everything.
Yeah,
so.
I got you. We got more tips on Derrick Rose. He says, according to John Macri, said Tibbs thinks he'll have a big impact on young players, cites his ability along with Quickly and Burks to play on and off the ball as a reason he should be able to fit in different types of lineups. Sounds like he thinks if Rose makes the team better, everyone wins. Of course, everyone wins if he makes the team better. Also, Tom Thibodeau did say that Rose will likely come off the bench because, at least initially, because he's happy with the starting group, and then they'll see how it progresses from there.
Right. Guys, I gotta go, so I will see you at post game. Okay.
All right.
Enjoy the game, guys.
Sounds good.
Yes.
Go Knicks.
Let me get to a phone call here. Call you live. What's popping?
Hey, what's going on? This is Kev from Long Island.
What's going on, Kev?
Nothing much. I just called to say I love your show. I love what you're doing. I'm gonna keep on supporting it, man.
Appreciate you, man.
So keep on doing it, man.
Thank you, man. I appreciate that.
Yeah, man. The Derrick Rose, I mean, he's a good player. We had him before. He's not like what he used to be when he first came to Chicago. But the number one thing is though about Derrick Rose that he could space the floor. And also too that he could go to the hole and draw some fouls. That's one thing good. That's the only thing good about him. So that could really help out a lot, from the Knicks backcourt. And I also think that he could help out quickly. Being a veteran that, Rose is, he could help out quickly, and he could help out on Payton too. So
right, yeah. I mean, I think he helps the team out, every which way. And Tom Thibodeau knows, listen, if these guys ain't going good, if Elfrid Payton ain't doing what I need, I can come to Derrick Rose, and he's gonna get something done. So that's good. And the Pistons last year kind of had an unofficial minutes restriction on Derrick Rose, according to Berman's report in the Post.
Right.
You know, like around 23 minutes, the Pistons kind of believe that after 23 minutes, Derrick Rose's production started to dip. You know, so you'll probably see him play around 23 minutes per game for the Knicks. And that, you know, and guess who gets 23 minutes exactly? Austin Rivers. So there you go. I mean, the writing is on the wall for Austin, man. It is on the wall for him. But hey, my man, I appreciate the call, man. I thank you for always listening. I appreciate the call.
Yeah, man. You're welcome, man, you know?
Appreciate it.
All
appreciate it.
Right.
Big Bubba, I'm coming to you, man. I don't think he's ready. I see him, you know, plugging up his earphones.
I'm right here, Sam.
Listen, everything's scratchy.
Hello?
What's going on, man? So what do we got to do this game to make some changes? We got to make some adjustments. What do we got to do?
Adjustments, man. We got to fight over these screens, man. We got to chase these small guys around. Got to be more disciplined. Like again, right? It's kind of been a common theme this year for the Knicks that we just left a lot of shooters open, and we're just pretty much daring them to miss. Which in the NBA, the 15th bench guy can make an open three. So we got to definitely be more cautious about that. I think we got to do a little better job on Bam Adebayo, man, because I think Bam truly dominated us the other game. He was having Tobbs and Mitch off their feet. I would like to see Mitch obviously be more disciplined. Don't go for the pump fakes. Keep your hands up. Stay on your feet. I feel like those are the things. I think we got to get RJ more involved. I think RJ going to have to want to be more aggressive and, you know, attack those smaller guys. You know, if you got guys like Kendrick Nunn, Tyler Hero, Duncan Robertson on you, those guys don't play defense. So I think RJ should definitely take advantage of those guys, smaller guys. He's stronger than all three of those guys, probably combined. So I think he should definitely take advantage of that. So those are the things I feel like we got to do. And then, you know, quickly have to play a little bit better. And we got to worry about the traps that they're going to do. We got to move. I seen last game, Sam, that we were just standing stagnant. I mean, seeing the traps, come get the ball. If you see a trap coming, come get the ball. You know, I think guys were just standing around a lot. And then we just got to move. We got to move, man, because what I seen with the Miami Heat, what they were doing was that they were moving without the ball, man. I seen Bam make some crisp passes. I seen all these guys making crisp passes. They're moving out the ball. So we gotta do a big adjustment, but it's we can do it though.
Yeah, that's how they play. I mean, the passes are sharp, the movement is sharp, and it scares you. It's like, yeah, everybody's moving around. You know, can we stick with these guys? You know what I'm saying?
And to be honest with you, Sam, it's been a problem for the Knicks since the Carmelo Anthony era, man. It's been a real big problem for the Knicks when it comes to like players just not moving. And I've seen it through Melo, I've seen it through KP, and I've seen it through Randall. Is that we get these guys, we give it to the post, and we don't move. You just watch Randall operate. We don't move without the ball. You know, I would like to see RJ because RJ's a slasher too. RJ can slash, but you know, I mean, maybe that could be the principles, but the coach. But I would love to see more ball movement, just not standing around watching Randall go to work and then not even able to get offensive rebounds or get easy crisp passes or easy cuts to the basket.
Other people got to make the shot, and other people got to step up.
Yeah, no, I agree with you, Charles. I definitely you got to stay. Everybody has to step up. Everybody can play harder, and we can pull out this win, man. I really definitely think we can pull out this win tonight.
We can. I'm not gonna lie. I'm a little bit nervous about it. I do think we can pull out the win, but I am a little bit nervous about it, just because of the style of play of Miami. You know, it scares me a little bit. You know, just the way that they play. They play so fast and up tempo, and always moving the ball. It just makes it difficult. It's a difficult cover for the Knicks. But this is what you need. Who just said? I think it was Josh who just said, this is what you're going to see in the playoffs. You're going to see teams that have good offenses. This is when you got to work on it. You got to perfect it and learn, how we're going to deal with this when we do see it. Because based on the Knicks' move, man, it is clear that they're looking at playoffs. They want to win. So that's that.
That's that. I don't know.
Andy, 1 second. I'm going to get there. It's just been announced that Derrick Rose, the Knicks have announced that Derrick Rose is available to play tonight. Will he play? Will he play? We don't know. But he's available.
You know he playing, Sam. Stop playing.
He's available. We'll see if he plays. But he's available.
Who wants to make a bet right now? Who wants to
Sim,
make a bet?
if he threw your boy Burks in, soon as he came back off the injury, you don't think he gonna throw the golden child in there, man?
I mean, but Burks was at least in training camp. He was at least in training camp with the team and all that stuff. Derrick Rose, some of these guys he's never even met before. You know what I mean? That's the only thing I'll say about that. But I wouldn't put it past Tibbs to have Rose out there in the game. I wouldn't put it past him at all to put Rose in. Andy, I see you were getting ready to say something. Maybe that's what you were getting ready to say.
Exactly. I wanted to break the news, but you took the mic. So no, but to be true, exactly like you said, he didn't have even one practice under his belt with the team. But I still think that we might see at least a couple of minutes. The bigger the chances is if the lead is bigger. Doesn't matter who leads the game. If the lead is bigger, Derrick Rose is gonna have bigger chance to play. But even for a couple of minutes, I see we can see actually Tibbs putting in D Rose and just telling him go get the ball and go get us a bucket, right? So right, exactly.
Yeah, I talked to Tibbs last night. I told my boy to 100 share the Derrick Rose and prediction strike. He said, "Okay, I'm gonna try." So.
Yeah, and this is also from the Knicks PR. Yes, Derrick Rose is available to play tonight. Put out by the Knicks PR. I hope he gets in there. I want to see him play. I'm not gonna lie, man. I hope he gets in there. I want to see him play and just get a small glimpse at what it looks like or what it could look like. Mm-hmm. Just get a small glimpse.
They're gonna have to move Austin Rivers pretty fast, though, man. They're gonna have to move him fast.
Gotta come.
Yeah. They gotta move him fast.
They gotta wait. They gotta wait till the 25th. They can't trade him yet.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he has to be on the team for 90 days.
Dang.
Yeah, he has to be on the team for at least 90 days before they can.
I mean, are we really worried about Tibbs not playing the guy? Are we really worried?
No, I'm just saying because sometimes when you got a guy who's not playing, it kind of affects other people on the bench because they start talking, they upset. I'm not saying he's a negative guy, but you never know what he tells another person, and they start. I just think the quicker you move him, the better it is, and everybody be at ease. That's all I'm saying.
Austin, hey, Knox, Tibbs don't like light skinned dudes.
Right.
Right. I mean, what do you think Derrick Rose is? What do you think Derrick Rose is?
hey, he a little darker than us, bro.
A little bit. He got a half a shade. He's a half a shade darker, Kev. He's a half a shade darker.
And listen, Prince.
They're in Miami. They can get tan.
Andy and Derrick Rose the same color.
No disrespect. No disrespect my boy like that.
Well, check this out. Here you go. From Steph Bondi. He said Derrick Rose has been cleared to play tonight. We know that. Said Thibodeau says he's comfortable playing him with no practice. So there you go. That man is getting in the game. That man is probably going to be in the game.
Hey, first guy off the bench.
Let me tell you what. If Derrick Rose comes in and he's hot and he plays down the stretch, it's going to be some people hot. Like, yo,
what you mean? There's going to be some hot jokers
He just come in and now he's playing down the stretch.
Hey, Cook.
Yo, calling you live. What's popping?
That's Derrick Rose right there.
What's going on, fellas? My name is Frank from Queens.
Dang,
I'm out here in Atlanta right now.
Oh, hold up. Are you Frank Ntilikina in Queens?
No, I'm part of the Frank House, so I appreciate Frank House.
Okay, what's going on with you, brother? How you feeling?
First off, I want to say Derrick Rose is a solid pickup.
Yeah.
He knows his system. And he can change the way the defense based off of the fact that he plays that passing lane. He's a player that's feared by the team. You got to change the way you do things when Derrick Rose gets out there. Period.
Right.
It's like that. Second off, I see everybody's like, get rid of Austin Rivers. I don't think that's a good idea. Every team needs a microwave. That boy gets hot. He gets fiery hot.
every once in a while.
I mean, but what did he do? One of those games, he went 10 for 10 or 14 for 14 or something like that.
I mean, yeah, I mean, he had 2 games where he was real hot. Then he had, I think one more game where he played pretty well.
Yeah, but you also need a weapon like that on your team too, correct?
True, but isn't that Quickly?
Right, Quickly.
Quickly is hopefully our point guard of the future, and that's another reason Derrick Rose is there to mentor that guy, to make sure he's on the right path. Quickly's got size more than anything else, which is cool for a point guard in the new NBA.
I just don't see where. I mean, if Austin Rivers is still here, he's not going to get a lot of burn, and it'll be situational at best, I think. Because I think he's going to be between Austin Rivers, Elfrid Payton, and Rose. I think he's going to be the odd guy out.
Now, I honestly think Elfrid Payton's the odd guy out. You can't. I'm surprised he made it in this league this long and he's never developed.
This really might be Frank Ntilikina.
That's ridiculous for me.
I mean, Tibbs has already said, at least right now, for the foreseeable future, Elfrid Payton is going to be the starting point guard.
Even looking at the stats, like I don't have MSG Network. I don't get a chance to see all the games like I like. But looking at the stats a lot of the time, Elfrid Payton is shooting underneath 50%. I don't want my starting point guard to be shooting under 50% and then shooting the volumes.
Derrick Rose is shooting under 50%. Derrick Rose is shooting like 43% from the field and 30% from 3. 33% from 3.
Derrick Rose gets the free throw line.
I mean, listen, all of anyone that you're going to put in that point guard from this team is not shooting that well from the field. You know what I mean? Honestly, I don't think that Thibodeau is changing that lineup right now. Does he end up starting at some point in the season? Maybe, but I don't know if it's going to be right now. Maybe it will be Elfrid Payton is the odd guy out. I guess we'll see in the foreseeable future.
Okay, I can agree with that. And lastly, before I go, your boy Bubba has been bugging all day talking about
Frank Ntilikina. Don't do that to me, Frank. I'm your biggest fan, Frank.
Nah, man, you tripping about salary cap and how our players is too young and man, look, we good. We doing the new regime is doing what they supposed to do. They're getting everything settled.
Frank, you can hear me, Frank?
There's no more Isaiah Thomas and spending too much money and no Phil Jackson on forcing the triangle. We're doing everything the right way. Shout out to Leon Rose and them guys.
Yo, Frank,
I love what y'all doing, man. Keep doing y'all thing.
Appreciate it, man.
Frank.
Yeah, I'm here.
Yo, you in Queens, right?
Nah, I'm in Atlanta right now, but I'm from Queens.
I was gonna tell you go find Who's Mark because we've been looking for him. If you can't go find Who's Mark, please do.
Who's Mark is on Twitter. I don't know what he's on Twitter. Putting some stuff out. You know what I mean? I don't know.
Listen, he got a new group to hang out with. Yeah. He hang out with them QAnon cats, man. He ain't got
yeah. Hey, I appreciate the call, Frank. Appreciate you, man.
Hey, who's Mark? We miss you and love you, baby. We can't find you no more.
Hey, if you're in the chat, man, pound that like button, man. I know some people said that they can't see the virtual chat, but when we let people know verbally, hey, please pound that chat for Sim, man. He works hard.
We have 730 people in this chat. We only have 300 likes.
Come on, y'all.
Please. Come on,
let's get up to 500 before the night over.
Yeah, that'd be nice. Get up to 500. I know some people are watching on the PlayStation, on their Xbox, or on their television.
And the niggas don't like it. I don't care about
it. So I don't know if they can hit those like buttons when they're watching on their TV. Some people got lucky enough to get that PlayStation 5 or Xbox X Series X.
Listen, man, get these likes up, or you don't want to get Andy mad. If you don't want to see Andy mad, get them likes up.
Calling you live. What's popping?
Hey, what's going on, fella?
What's going on with you? How you feeling?
Everything good, everything. Before we get started, I wanted to ask, is that you in the Geico commercial that Scoop right there?
Nah, man, I'm not in no Geico commercial.
You never see that?
Sim got money. He got money, man.
Nah, man. I wish it was. Trust me, I wish it was me in that Geico commercial. I do a Geico commercial in a minute.
There's a scoop. There's a scoop there. It is commercial. I thought that was you with the bucket.
Oh, in the bucket hat. Scoop.
Shakalaka,
All right, that's all I wanted to say, man.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
Over, man, they're killing it. Hopefully, Rose come to Chicago, put on the show of Tibbs playing tonight, and we'll see how it goes, man.
Yeah, appreciate that, man. I'm gonna let you know when I get that Geico commercial too.
Devon, what does KTM mean, or whatever that said behind you?
KRT.
Knicks Real Talk.
Knicks Real Talk. That's his show.
Knicks Real Talk. All right.
You can search it up on YouTube. Knicks Real Talk.
All right, that's that. All right, fellas. Appreciate it.
Appreciate it. Yeah, I'm gonna let y'all know when I get that Geico commercial.
For real.
Even though I use Progressive Insurance, so they probably won't hire me.
Hey, Progressive's the bomb. Hey, Sam, I gotta say one more thing, Sam. We are at 399 likes. Can we get 100 more to get to 500?
Yeah, let's go. We getting in there. We at 4 something now. I can't see exactly how many, but it's getting there. No
Good
doubt.
work,
Keep
y'all.
pushing them likes up.
We appreciate y'all.
I told y'all don't want to see Andy mad. He's gonna start speaking proper American English, and we don't want that.
And we don't know Polish cuss words either. I don't know.
We don't.
Right.
If anybody be cussing us out, we thinking like, oh, hey, Andy.
More on Derrick Rose for tonight. He'll definitely stretch and shoot with the team during pregame. Thibodeau said that he'd see how it goes, and he does have a shortened playbook for cases like this.
Yes, sir.
Sounds more and more like this man is going to be on the floor tonight at some point. You know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
Derrick Rose and the Knicks about to have their own insurrection tonight. They're about to run up in Miami.
You know,
That's what
big shout out to Slicker Wicked Films for becoming a member. And for Albert Grant, thank you for the super chat. I appreciate it. Yeah, man. We'll see. I'm excited for tonight. Can't wait to see what's going on. Make sure you check me out. Die Hard Knicks podcast at the half. Be on there at the half. Just kind of breaking down what's happened so far with the Knicks. And then I'll be on at, about 10:15. We'll be on for the post-game show. Evergreen, what's going on, man?
Peace, everybody. Sorry I jumped on late. I had to jump on, jump off.
What's up?
Ain't even take his uniform off yet. What's going on?
I get it in. I get to work. I get to the house. You got to do COVID paperwork, and everybody want to get work done. And
I already know.
But I'm looking forward to the game. I will say, maybe this is my own superstition, but I know everybody was just ranting and raving about Derrick Rose playing tonight. I kind of don't want him to play tonight. I want this team to get revenge back. You got to maybe I'm wrong, but we haven't lost to a team twice, right? Have we lost to a team twice?
Not yet.
No,
not yet.
So I want this unit to make the necessary adjustments outside of the player adjustment of Derrick Rose. I want this unit to get back, right? And I want Derrick Rose to be acclimated into the team just like you would acclimate any other new person to an organization. I'm not fond of just throwing him in the game and just because he knows Tibbs from 7-8 years ago. Well, in this case, 3 years ago, 3 years ago. Yeah, 3 years ago. Just because he knows Tibbs from 3 years ago and for his career before, that automatically means he's going to gel right away with these players that we have. So I would much rather him get a couple practices in, let him sit this game out, watch the game, get a couple practices in before the next game on Tuesday, and let them rock out. Maybe play that game. I don't want him to suit out right now. And I don't want to wear number 4 either. Please don't wear number 4. I know
he's wearing number 4. That's his number. He's wearing number 4. Yeah, that's his number.
I just don't want him to have any of that DSJ stuff rub off on him. Granted, I was the leader of the DSJ fan club for a long time, but I passed that off to somebody a couple months ago. And now that he's gone, it's just like not necessarily good riddance, but hopefully you do the best. I just don't want him to take on that DSJ stuff. You know what I mean? Whatever's going on. Like You know.
Yeah, I think we might see him sometimes tonight. You know, I don't know if it's going to be anything major. We might see him a couple minutes. Because I know if I was Tom Thibodeau, I'd be anxious to get a glimpse at what it could look like. I'm not even going to lie. And I've had times when, well, normally when my team, if I'm only at 6 players or something like that, and I got a new player coming in, I throw him out there to play, you know, because I only got 6 players, but the Knicks have a full team. So, but I mean, I've done it before, you know, say, okay, you know what, you can play with us, let's go. We rocking tonight. You know, throw him out there, let him play. You know what I'm saying?
For me, this ain't experiment time, Sim. This ain't experiment time.
But
I'm
listen,
not trying to lose to no. If we could not lose to a team twice, that means we got a better chance at going over 500, right? Assuming we play every team twice.
You're right.
All right, so I don't want to experiment right now. I get it. I get where everybody's coming from.
But also, like Derrick Rose hasn't played in a couple weeks. Sometimes, every once in a while, when you haven't played in a while, and you hit that court for the first time, that's when you're the hottest. And then the next game, you start to come off, right? Because, like, you're excited to get out there, adrenaline's pumping, everything's clicking, pop, 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 pop. And then the next game, it levels off. I guess we'll see.
Hey, Evergreen, meet us halfway. If Austin Rivers stick up the first half, Derrick Rose coming in the second half at least.
Right.
Tell you what, if Austin Rivers stinks up another game, get him the hell out of here. That's what I'm saying. Get him on the first plane ticket to Vancouver to go play with those guys over in Vancouver, and they don't even have a team. Get him out of here. I don't care where you put him.
Yeah, right.
All right. I was excited for him, and he only had 2 games. Both of them was Utah games. I'm good. Right. Get him out of here,
man. Hey, and guess what? Derrick Rose was one of the top 10 vote getters for an All-Star guard. Right. And that's
we about to have 3 players in the All-Star game.
In the East, he was in the top 10.
Second score coming off the bench in the league, in the East, second high score.
Heroes, RJ, and Randall in the All-Star game.
But look, you know, up until this season. Well, not up until the season. The past 3 seasons, in Minnesota, he averaged 18. Last year in Detroit, he averaged 18. He's averaging 15 this year, but it's the beginning of the year. You know what I mean? You're bringing in a guy that can get you 20 any night on the bench or starting. You know, and Thibodeau, you know what I'm saying? I think Thibodeau might put that man out there, even if it's just for a couple minutes. I think he might throw it out there, Evergreen. Might put him out there. He already said he feels comfortable putting him out there with no practices. He said he has a shortened playbook for situations like this.
Yo, God.
All right.
I knew it.
He said he got a shortened playbook for situations like this.
Hey, Elfrid Payton and Austin Rivers is sad right now. They is so mad.
I don't know about Elfrid Payton.
Elfrid Payton ain't worried.
Ain't got nothing to worry about.
EP ain't worried. EP is going to be running that starting unit still. You know, what we would all like to see, you know, maybe it's just me, I don't know. But I want to see, you know, Derrick Rose running the 1 and quickly running the 2. Running that chasing guard, spot up shooter, you know what I mean, corner 3 jumper. You know, his defense is not quite there to really compete with your average 2s, but I think his quickness and his range and his ability overall to shoot is what is going to allow him to stick out against those 2s. So, you know, on defense he doesn't really pan out, but on offense he does. So I'm willing to take that if we got Derrick Rose running the 1. Pushing at pace and potentially throwing lobs to Obi. I mean, this is what I would like.
Quickly and Burks in the court on that 3-point line. Oh,
right.
God,
right.
Bro.
I'm cool with that. Cool with that. Just, you know, for get back's sake, this team was very close to beating Miami, if you ask me. You know, and I would like to see this team, not the New York Knicks, but this team right here get back from yesterday.
But why? Why? I mean, because they're never going to be this same team again. You know what I'm saying? Unless Derrick Rose gets hurt. But for the most part, they got Rose now. They're never going to be the same team.
Hey, Sim, your boy on the trading block, too. Kyle Lowry.
On the trading block?
Yeah, well, they in the organization saying that they think it's best to get them to move on before they want to go another direction.
Too late now. It's too late for us. We're not getting Kyle Lowry.
It's late now. I mean, they could move Derrick Rose.
You could trade Austin Rivers.
And all of them.
Yeah, I'll trade Austin.
You could. You could.
Derrick Rose on the bench.
Here's the issue, and I think Andy might have pointed this out like a couple months ago. You know, in football, they say if you have 3 quarterbacks, then you have no quarterbacks, right? In basketball, how many point guards do you have to have for you to actually have no point guard, right? So we have Elfrid Payton, Derrick Rose, Emmanuel Quickly as the combo guard, Austin Rivers as the combo guard, and
out of here, bro.
If you brought in Kyle Lowry is your starter. Elfrid Payton's gone. Austin Rivers gone.
But Elfrid Payton has the no trade clause because of the CBA. So Elfrid Payton, in order for us to move him, he has to agree with it,
or they can waive him.
I eat the $5 million and waive him.
They can waive him or buy him out.
If you ain't going to the Raptors with this trade, bro, you out of here. We'll pay you.
So just
$4 million.
So I'm clear, because I didn't know the buyout was an option. I thought it was just like like not necessarily a buyout, but he maintains a roster spot, and you can guys just not play him. Just so I'm clear, we could actually buy him out and send him packing and get rid of the $5 million. Correct?
He's a free agent.
Well, you don't get rid of the $5 million. It's still on your salary.
You gotta pay up the money.
Yeah, that's what I mean. That's what I mean. It's still on our salary. Yeah,
and they got the cap to do it too.
You just get the roster spots.
Yeah,
right. You just get the roster spots. I mean, if you brought in Kyle Lowry, which I would right now, I don't know if you got to give up a lot to trade for him.
How much money we got to make up? $15 million?
So not about the money. It's about the value. Toronto is willing to give Kyle Lowry up, but they want something back. And with Masai over there, Masai's he's gonna try to fleece teams.
I give you
Kyle Lowry.
You want Frank anyway.
Yeah.
You wanted Frank anyway.
But listen,
they're not gonna do a 1-for-1 for Frank.
Give him Elfrid and whoever else, and I'll give you a couple seconds. That's all you're gonna get for
he's aspiring. He's aspiring. He ain't gonna get much.
I'm not giving you no first round pick for Kyle Lowry. If somebody gives up a first round pick for Kyle Lowry.
But here's the thing, right? First of all, like with Derrick Rose, you could say, all right, we could pay him $7 million. We traded a guy that was making $5 million. We're gonna pay him $7 million. If he doesn't sign back with us, we didn't lose anything.
It's a wash.
With Kyle Lowry, he's making $30 million plus. So if he don't sign back with you, you gave up a lot for Kyle Lowry. So I'm not too much trying to jump on Kyle Lowry at before the trade deadline, because you're gonna give up a lot, and you got to know that he's gonna stay with you and he's gonna be your guy for the next couple of years. Yeah. Now, if you have a Kyle Lowry and then a Derrick Rose coming off the bench and you got Quickly. You got a starting point guard for the next couple of years. You really do take your team to another level. But I think there's going to be, we talk about what we got to give up for Kyle Lowry. There are teams that didn't get Derrick Rose that's going to be looking at Kyle Lowry.
Facts.
The Clippers.
Right? The Clippers.
Brooklyn.
Milwaukee might be looking at him, although I don't know about Milwaukee because they were looking at, maybe the Clippers. I don't know how they fit it into their
the Clippers
salary.
already came on board and said that they're looking to move Pat Beverly and Lou Williams. Okay, so that might be a good trade option. Age stopgap players. But do the Clippers have the salary to take on?
They don't got the draft picks. They don't got draft picks.
They don't have the picks. Yeah, they would have to bring in a third team. They would have to bring in a third team.
So I don't know, but if they could do it, I could see him going to the Clippers. Not so much with the Knicks right now, but because we'd have to give up so much. I think
no, it wouldn't be have to, because we have still the around 16 million of cap space, right? So you eat up the 16 million and you just gotta match the 15 million left. So you put in like Frank and and Rivers, and then you go.
Yeah, Frank Rivers in a couple.
That's true. That's true. I guess we could do that, but what I mean, are we gonna have to give up any picks for him?
Yeah, we have
That's
to.
what I mean.
We have to.
I know players.
We want this Kyle Lowry.
I'm not giving up much more than seconds. I'm not giving.
If we want this Kyle Lowry trade to go, right? And we still get to maintain the continuity of our team. That means Frank's gone for $5 million. Austin Rivers is gone for this year, which is $3 million. Right. So that's $8 million of the additional. That's $8 million that we have to cut, or that we've covered.
Of the 12. And Sim said you don't have to cover the whole 100. You just got to cover like 85, 90% of it.
Yeah. But Frank Rivers and Alfred would match the money. I don't know if they would take it or even bite it.
Well, Alfred has to agree to that regardless. Yeah, so if we wanted to completely cover it, Alfred would have to be like, okay, I'm cool with that. And then he would go. He would probably be the starting. He would probably come off the bench at that point for Toronto, coming off the bench for Van Vliet.
Yeah,
evergreen. But Alfred might agree if we promise him, to sign him again in the offseason.
Listen,
we'll bring you back.
I wouldn't put it past Kyle Lowry ending up in Boston.
Ooh,
or something.
That'd be.
I can see that happening,
really bad.
And then Kemba being moved to Toronto or something like that. I wouldn't put it past that happening.
Ouch, that'll hurt. If I
did Boston ever inquire about Frank before? I feel like they did.
I don't remember hearing about that.
I don't know with Boston.
I would make him like Kemba's my guy. He's a Soundview guy. You know what I mean?
Knicks are not going to trade for any more point guards this year. We got Derrick Rose. I think they're going to stay put. It's just right now too much of a glut at the guard position, and we don't want to risk giving away picks, just for rental players this year. I think we're fine with Derrick Rose. Let's just ride out the season with Rose and Quickly and Payton. That's our point guards, and then the off season, let's address it then. But right now, the Knicks, they're not going to do anything crazy like that.
This conversation was Sim's fault because he always try to bring in his little pipe dream.
And he loved Kyle Lowry.
I like Kyle Lowry, man.
I love Kyle Lowry.
I think Kyle Lowry fits with this with the way that we play. That toughness, I think Kyle Lowry fits with it perfectly. He plays defense, tough player, he can shoot it from three. He scored. He can drop 19 a game on you. He fits with these guys very well, in my opinion. But not right now. I don't think. Yeah, what's up?
New rule. If Sim starts talking about Kyle Lowry, you cover your camera with your thumb.
No, dog. I want that trade because, like Sim said, if we could pull that off, that puts us in a way different trajectory. Because again, now we got real playoff experience, real veteran experience, real teaching experience. Like,
we have a way of drumming things up. We have a way of bringing things to fruition on this show, man.
We speak it into existence.
When they talked about Derrick Rose, I was like, nah, I think he wants to come to the Knicks. I don't think he wants to go to the Clippers or any of those places. He ends up coming to the Knicks. Last year, I was like, I think we should go get D'Angelo, or not last summer, the summer before, I think we should get D'Angelo Russell and Julius Randle. D'Angelo Russell didn't quite work out. I think Brooklyn messed us up with the whole Kevin Durant thing. I think he would have came to the Knicks, but then they had to trade him to Golden State. We end up with Julius Randle. I'm just saying, we have a way of bringing that stuff out.
Hey,
saying.
Not for nothing, Sim, but I would like to blame myself for this because I wrote that article, that big long article about Derrick Rose at the beginning of the season.
Oh, I remember that. Yeah.
I wrote that long article about Derrick Rose and my trip to Chicago and Knicks stuff.
Yeah.
And now we got Derrick Rose. Hey, I'm on a roll, guys. I just want that to be known. I'm on a roll. The number 8 pick with the 8s, right? That was all me and my son. Derrick Rose. What's next? What's next? We get LeBron James. That's what's next.
Nah.
Stop, man.
Go ahead, Big Bubba. Go ahead, Big Bubba.
I just wanted to say, man, I was having to bring a special guest in the building today.
Hey, Pops, how you feeling?
Oh, I'm doing good, man. As long as we got Derrick Rose, I'm happy.
All right.
Yeah, that make me happy.
Hopefully he's gonna do what we think he can do.
Yes. Man, I tell you, we're on the right track now.
Let them know.
Yeah, we definitely on the right track. Definitely on the right track, man. But people that might be looking at Kyle Lowry, of course, we said the Clippers. I don't know about the Bucks. The Clippers can use a start, use him and fit him in at the starting point guard spot. The Bucks got Drew Holiday, so I don't know. I don't know if Kyle Lowry is coming off the bench. Miami, maybe I could see that.
Is Dragic still playing? Goran Dragic?
He's hurt, but he's around. He's not like season-ending injury, but he's around.
Right,
but he gets hurt like twice a year, every year.
Yeah, and then the Nets were looking at getting Derrick Rose as well, but most likely to back up Kyrie Irving. So I can't really see the Nets trying to pick up Kyle Lowry. They don't have the money anyway. Let me ask y'all this: we talking about bolstering the roster for the playoffs, right? Cheap, doing it cheap. If Andre Drummond gets bought out, if you're the Knicks, would you look and say, let's talk to Andre Drummond?
Yes, I'm throwing him a bag. Yes.
At least for the end of the season.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm doing it.
I do that. And the second thing, even if he, didn't want to play, I just do it so the Nets don't get him. just gonna bench that guy.
Right. I mean, I think. Listen, I love Mitch, but I think I would if he would accept, a veteran's minimum to come to the Knicks. He probably wants to go to Brooklyn. I'm pretty positive he wants to be in Brooklyn so he can try to win that championship. But if he was like, you know what, I like what they're doing with the Knicks, I take this contract, and then now you got Andre Drummond as your starting center and Mitch coming off the bench, and you still got Nerlens Noel who can, be that backup guy in case somebody gets hurt. Because Drummond is a rebounding machine.
So I got a question
still
about
score the
that.
ball.
I got a question about that. So if he gets bought out from Cleveland, right? Essentially, that means Cleveland has to pay him out the rest of the money for this contract, and they let him go. Yeah. Correct. So could instead of signing him for the veterans minimum, can we have him eat that $15 million that we have left over, and then attempt to re-sign him the following year, or what?
It's not like that. If first shot, the teams that have salary cap, they got a first shot and they can bid more money for him. And then, for example, if the Cavs are if his contract is like $25 million and we agree to pay him $5 million, the Cavs only pay $20 million. Right? Like the percentage wise, rest of the season. So the first dibs are on teams that have salary cap space, and then he goes to the rest of the teams, and then only to teams that are over the salary cap, unless he's going to turn down money and just going to take the money from for the minimum team and just pick whatever team he wants.
Right.
Guys, Andre Drummond is 27 years old. In the offseason, if Andre Drummond's available, I'm throwing the bag at him. I'm going to get him, and I'm going to sign him long term.
Big bag.
I mean, but we're talking about if he gets waived by Cleveland by the deadline, do you go and say, hey, we want you to come play for us for the rest of the season, and then look at next season, and signing them? You understand what I'm saying?
I get that. I just don't think he would do that. He would rather go sign with a contender to try to boost up his stock a little bit, win a championship, and then in the offseason decide where he wants to go.
No, I get it. I get it. Yeah. He probably will. He's probably going to go to Brooklyn. But if I'm the Knicks, I'm still going to reach out to him.
Oh, of course. I mean, of course, pick up the phone.
He gets waived. I'm going to call him and say, hey, we got a spot for you. Yeah, Mitch is here. We love Mitch, and he can grow behind you. But, I mean, Andre Drummond is... And now that Julius Randle, hopefully Julius Randle can continue to hit the three. He's shooting about 38%. If he can continue to hit that three, now you're not as worried about. I mean, we see what they're doing with Mitch down there. He doesn't shoot it at all. Andre Drummond at least shoots it a little bit. So,
if the Knicks get Andre Drummond in the offseason, I'm trading Mitchell Robinson. He's going to be the next person out the door.
But
that's just me.
That would have put us in a leverage position with the Mitch contract, because we're just going to tell him, dude, you want to stay here for this kind of money? If not, we have Andre Drummond, so he can start even over you.
Right.
Yeah, and Mitchell Robinson can a lot of teams will want Mitchell Robinson, so we can get a lot back for him if the Knicks are able to get Andre Drummond in the offseason. I'm signing Andre Drummond long term.
Let me tell you what. If I'm Worldwide West, you know how I'm reaching out to his people already and saying, yo, if you get bought out, the Knicks at least want to get an interview. We at least want to get you on the phone and talk to you about what we're doing over here. Especially if the Knicks make another move. If the Knicks make another move for a wing, a really strong wing, and then Andre Drummond gets bought out, and they say, "Yo, let's get him in here." Yeah, I mean, even if you don't, and you just bring Andre Drummond, you're still working. You're really working with something, and you know that really bolsters us for the playoffs, man. You're talking about right now, and when you look at the playoffs right now, the Knicks are only a couple games out of the third seed for real. I think Brooklyn is 14-11 in the third seed. Right? The Knicks are 11-14 in the ninth seed, separated by 3 games. Now, is Brooklyn going to get better and you know, create bigger separation between their win-loss record? Of course. But if the Knicks were to get lucky and able to sign Andre Drummond off of waivers, I mean, that puts us up around at 5th seed, 4th and 5th seed maybe. We're looking at it. I mean, when you look at right now, the 5th seed is 12-12 in the Eastern Conference. That's the Pacers.
One player away.
So,
one player.
Man, I was thinking about that last night.
I don't like what y'all are doing right now. I don't like what y'all are doing right now.
Why? What's wrong? Why?
Because like you just saying that has my heart racing, and I want to say the C word, but I stop.
What's the C word?
Listen,
what's the C word?
The C word
Celtics.
is
They must be the center.
No. The C word is if we get Andre Drummond, championship. I don't care what.
I think we still got a ways to go.
Listen, hear me out.
I think we would still have a ways to go.
No. Before we jump, I understand this. Hear me out, right? With Andre Drummond, that cancels out Joel Embiid and them guys at the number 1 seed. Does it not?
Wait, hold on. No, it doesn't, because
it cancels them out.
Joel Embiid be busting Andre Drummond butt.
Does Andre Drummond not put up numbers against Joel Embiid as well?
No, he be getting dominated.
Maybe. All right.
I don't even know.
I'll jump on my high horse.
I'm not gonna lie. I'd give up a 2nd round pick for him.
For who?
For Drummond. Yeah, just to get him off the market for the Nets and just to have him on my roster. I think he's worth a 2nd rounder.
He's worth more than a 2nd rounder, Andy.
Yeah, he's worth way more than that.
Why I said. That's why I said.
Would you give up 2nd rounder, bro?
Would you give up a 1st round pick for Andre Drummond?
Okay, so that's what I'm doing. I'm giving up that first easily for Andre Drummond. Just to make sure that, listen, if the goal is to make sure Brooklyn doesn't get him, because that would pretty much solidify Brooklyn in contention with the championship or Eastern Conference Finals, right? If that's the intention, I'm giving up a 1st round pick. I'm giving up a 1st round pick to get Andre Drummond.
I think y'all bugging today, man.
Isaiah, hold on. Andre Drummond's 27 years old. He's 27, averaging 18 and 14.
Resign, I'd give up a 1st. If he would resign for me.
I just wanted to get him off waivers. I just wanted to get him after he got bought out.
Man, listen.
I just wanted to get him after he got bought out, man.
The Pistons didn't even get a 1st round pick for this dude. Nah, I'm good, my guy.
Listen, he's averaging 18 points right now. This is the most he's ever averaged in his career. It's going up. Look at his numbers. The numbers
this a contract year, bro. I'm not
irrelevant. That's irrelevant. Look,
been doing that job for years, bro.
No.
Yes, he has. Andre Drummond's been putting up numbers for years.
Dogging. His entire career.
Hold on. I hate when y'all do that. When y'all disregard it's a contract year, like players don't know they're in a contract year to get bread. Don't discredit that.
What I'm saying is the point that I'm getting at is that, all right, if you look at what we're doing right now without Andre Drummond, could we at least right now make the play-in game, right? Could we make the play-in game? Yes or no, Isaiah?
Yeah, of course. You got to be.
Okay, got it. Yeah. Has Andre Drummond been past the number 8 seed yet?
Oh, come on, man.
No, I'm asking. No, this is what I'm saying. Be real. Has Andre Drummond been out of the first round of the playoffs yet?
Andre Drummond plays on a team. He plays on a team.
Listen, this is what I'm saying. This is a simple yes or no question. Has Andre Drummond made it past the first round with Detroit?
No.
Okay, so what I'm saying is, if we're going to get Andre Drummond, and we already anticipate that we can at least get into the play-in round, I would say that at least with Andre Drummond, we can get past the first round, which is further than he's ever been in his entire career.
Okay.
Now, the likelihood of getting him and still re-signing him because we got far when we got him at the tail end of the season is more likely. So all I'm saying is if you can make a trade, if I would much rather make a trade for him now, give up a first rounder and eat the money now. This way, if we make the playoffs with him, it's still further than he's ever been in his career, and we have a better likelihood at signing him next season.
I just would rather him sign long term. That's just me. I want him to sign long term. I wouldn't take the chance if he's not going to sign long term.
Yeah, but you don't know that. You don't know. You can't guarantee that on a trade like that.
Let me get to Isaiah.
In a contract or a trade.
Let me get to
You
Isaiah.
have to trade him first and then sign him. Correct?
Oh, Isaiah, hold up.
Can I be completely honest with you? Andre Drummond does not move the needle the way you're thinking he's going to move the needle.
You are bugging.
Let me say this because I really think. See, y'all don't, bro. Embiid, Embiid be buzzing his butt. Who else? I mean, I don't understand where y'all think Andre.
How many other Joel Embiids are in the NBA, Isaiah? How many other Joel Embiids? How many other teams have Joel Embiid or any player like him?
Well, okay, so let's be hypothetical, right? So
yeah, we gotta do hypothetical.
So if we get out there, Drummond, right? Okay, he's not better than Embiid, so Embiid's gonna win that matchup. Giannis, if they play him at the center, he's not better than them. If we play the Nets, are you going to really have him?
He's not playing. They got They got Lopez. They're not playing Giannis at center.
Thank you. Get rid of the hypothetical. Go ahead. Keep going.
So does Andre? Okay, so hold on. With this current roster, if you put Andre Drummond, are we better than the Bucks, Nets, Sixers?
I'm saying we're going to be top four. To me, that propels us into top four.
Guess what? And didn't we already beat the Bucks? We beat the Bucks already, did we not? Okay. Keep it
one game.
Isaiah,
we beat the Bucks, though. We beat them already. We blew them out.
Hold on, bro.
One at a time.
Evergreen. You got to relax. It's regular season. Do you really think you can beat a Bucks team 4 times?
Yes, with Andre Drummond.
I think we could get at least 1 or 2. I think we could get 1 or 2.
When has Giannis shown up? Giannis hasn't shown up his entire playoff career.
Hold on, wait a minute.
So what are you talking about? Of course. We just blew out the Bucks in the beginning of the season. We get Andre Drummond. Giannis doesn't show up. We win that matchup. Period. We win that matchup.
Let me just add something, okay? To me, I think if we get Andre Drummond, we go up into that top 4 range. I'm not saying we're going to beat Philly and we're better than those guys yet. But what I'm saying is Andre Drummond is a top 5 center in the NBA.
Yeah.
Who's better than him? You're thinking Jokic, AD, and Embiid? That's it. There's nobody else better. Nobody else better than Andre Drummond is.
I think
he's a 20 and 20 guy, bro.
Let me tell you who he is.
Detroit, he was putting up 20 and 20 for like 3-4 seasons straight, bro.
So Blake Griffin had his best season when Andre Drummond. Did he do anything?
What?
What
does that have to do?
No. Blake Griffin had his statistically best season, last year with the Pistons with Andre Drummond. What did he do? Nothing. They didn't do nothing. So, what are we talking about? If you're gonna pay him with Julius Randle,
as a team, what are you? I don't know what you mean.
No. Listen, because the season that Julius Randle happened is pretty much the season Blake Griffin had last year.
What?
Had the same.
Hold on. Let's stop for 1 second. No. Hold on. Let's stop for 1 second. Stop one. Too many people talking over top of each other. First of all, Andre Drummond, you talk about, you say, it's a contract year, this and that. Last year, Andre Drummond averaged 17 points, 11 rebounds. The year before that, 18 points, 16 rebounds. The year before that, 18 points, 15 rebounds. The
That's
year before
scary.
that, 17 points, 15 rebounds. The year before that, 15 points, 16 rebounds. This year, 18 points, 14 rebounds. This is not something he's doing because he's trying to get a contract. This is what Andre Drummond has done. His second year in the league, he averaged 13 points, 13 rebounds. He's been averaging a double-double since his second year in the league. This is what Andre Drummond does. That's how he plays the game. Andre Drummond is a top 5 center in the NBA. No doubt about it. There's no two ways around it. You see what he does to us every time he plays us. He murders Mitch.
Sim,
every time he plays us.
Sim, next time you go to the corner store, buy you a Snapple, pop off the top, and read the bottom, and it says Andre Drummond, top 5 center in the league. Period. No ifs, ands, or buts about it.
I mean, come on, man.
Period. Isaiah, what are you talking about right now, bro?
I mean,
Yo, he's muted. We don't know.
Yeah, no. Anthony Davis. No. Don't unmute and talk over me. All right. You know, we always talk about these players didn't do this, didn't do that, didn't do this, didn't do that. There's a lot of players in that category until they get with a better team. Anthony Davis did nilch when he was with New Orleans Pelicans.
Yep.
They had a couple of good seasons, but they did nothing. Then he gets with a better team, with better players, and he wins the championship. I'm not saying Andre Drummond is Anthony Davis. Obviously, Anthony Davis is a far superior player. But you always can't just blame it on that one player. Come on, man. People are. I really do feel like there are some people who are afraid of success.
Spending money. People are afraid to spend money. That's what it is, Sam. To me.
Let me add.
Sim, hold on. So can I say something, Sim? Because again, right? Y'all just keep throwing away top 5 center. Is that we're stretching the top 5 center thing so a lot? Andre Drummond.
So tell me who's better.
No, he's top 10. He's top 10.
He's probably top 10. So who's better than
better?
Andre Drummond? The Joker.
Who's better?
The Joker.
Jokic, AD, Vucevic, Gobert probably.
No.
I'm not taking Vucevic. I'm not taking Vucevic over Drummond. That's ridiculous.
Really?
No.
Really?
No.
Nurkic doesn't play.
Oh man,
I like Vucevic. I like him, but he's not better than Andre Drummond. I'm sorry.
Hold on. If you're gonna talk about Vucevic, then what you're saying about Detroit is the same exact thing with Vucevic in Orlando. So
thanks.
Don't even say.
I'll still take Vucevic, but that's only me. I'm not. No.
But Sim, again, I think y'all really, y'all are truly ODing Andre Drummond to where you think he's gonna put you into a top 4 contention. Like I said before.
Oh my God!
Like I said,
you clearly don't pay attention to what's going on in the NBA, bro. You don't watch what's going on to the NBA.
Bro, can I talk? Because okay, right? Here's facts. You want to hear facts? He played with. I'm gonna say it again. He played with Blake Griffin, who had most likely his best season in Detroit, averaging the numbers that we're talking about. Julius Randle, he did that. That's a fact. With Andre Drummond, what did they do? Zip. So again, right? We're trying to move. We're gonna say, well, he's moving middle. If you put him here, with Randle,
what are you talking about? That is the dumbest take ever, bro.
Who's Detroit?
A dumb take when Blake Griffin is averaging the same stats that
who else did they have on the
team?
Like, who else was their coach? That's a better question. When's the last time they had a good point guard?
Coach of the year, Dwayne Casey. So what are we going to say?
Last year, Blake Griffin played 18 games last year. 18 games. What are you talking about? He played 18 games last year.
That year, huh?
He played 18 games last year.
All right, yep. So sign Andre Drummond and be a top 4 team and see what we do. I want to see that, please.
We'll be a top 4 team.
I want to see Andre Drummond move the needle like y'all told him in the top 4 contention.
Isaiah, do you know what the 4th seed in the Eastern Conference, what their record is right now?
It's early in the season. I know what you're going to say. It's close right now.
All right. Anyway, we're done. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to let you go ahead and get ready for the game. You know what I'm saying? We don't want to hear, this guy over here, crying about, I don't know what he's crying about. You know what I mean? Just spouting off about whatever he's spouting off about. I'm going to say this. If Andre Drummond is available, if he gets waived or he gets bought out and he's available, you go get Andre Drummond. Bottom line. And there's no two ways about it. You know what I'm saying? There's no two ways about it. Greg Castillo, thank you for the super chat. He said, never forget Evergreen got the Knicks to the 8th pick. We just talked about that.
You, somebody's listening.
Right? You know what I'm saying? And Greg Castillo also said you'd basically be the Pacers at 5. You know what? I take it. Even if we're the Pacers at 5, I take it. That's how you start to grow. That's how you get better.
Haven't made the playoffs in 7 years, guys.
That's how you get better.
What are we talking about here?
And then Greg Castillo, I'm trying to find the last one. Oh, there you go. He said Vucevic is a stretch 5. Respect him. I have no disrespect towards Vucevic.
Not at all.
No disrespect towards Vucevic. I just think Andre Drummond is one of the top centers in the league. And people will find out. Watch when he goes to the Nets. People going to be like, damn, Andre Drummond is killing in the playoffs. Watch.
Sim, but you can't. Sim, that's a whole different road, bro. You can't say he's killing
Calling
it.
you live. What's popping?
Okay.
Yo, so I'm Zarek out in Detroit. I'm a Pistons fan, actually.
Uh-huh.
And I heard y'all talking about Drummond and D Rose, and that was our situation for the longest. So I just figured, like, I'll let y'all know how it went for us, like, firsthand. D Rose last year was easily our best player. And I've been a fan of him since, like, his rookie year, and I was young then. It was the best he's looked since he was in Chicago. And even this year, he was forcing a lot more shots, and you could tell he didn't want to be here anymore. But he was still a dynamic offensive player. With Drummond, though, his stats show one thing, but the eye test says a whole different other thing. Because we would defend him online because that's our job as Pistons fans. Like, we gotta show up for Drummond, but a lot of nights he'll put up a 20-20 and you won't even be able to tell. Especially in the playoffs, not only does the eye test look bad, but his stats go down in the playoffs. We played the Bucks in the playoffs, and Brook Lopez, he completely embarrassed us.
How much of that is your team and just not Andre Drummond alone?
Oh, my God. Oh, Lord.
How much of that is your team and not just Andre Drummond alone?
I'll give you that. Our team in 2019 with that Blake year, our team was not that solid. But our 3 main pieces was Drummond, Blake, and Reggie Jackson. Now, we didn't have D Rose that year. If we had D Rose, maybe we took like one game, but I don't know if that changes everything. Obviously, the Knicks got a better team, but if you're trading for Drummond especially, I don't know if that puts you in a much different space than it did us that year. 2016 even, when we played the Cavs, that LeBron team, he didn't show up in the playoffs. And that 2016 team had Tobias Harris, Marcus Morris, Reggie Jackson, and Tavis Caldwell-Pope.
I mean, we're not talking about giving up major assets for Andre Drummond. If he gets bought out by the Pistons, then, you know, we're like, okay, we sign him for getting bought out by the Pistons. You know, if he gets bought out, or Cavs, I'm sorry, by the Cavs. He gets bought out by the Cavs. We're like, okay, you sign him. Right, and you add him to the roster that you already have. Y'all talking about
trading away Mitchell Robinson after the year? I promise you don't want to do that.
Not for Andre Drummond.
No, I know, but you're saying because you have Andre Drummond, you can leverage Mitchell Robinson. I'm promising you, you do not want to trade Mitchell Robinson. Pistons fans last year wanted to trade Drummond for Robinson.
You said Pistons fans? I mean,
yeah,
listen.
Yeah.
Guess what?
Obviously the Pistons front office wanted. I think the front office tried to do Julius Randle and Frank Ntilikina for Andre Drummond, but I think the Knicks turned it down.
Frank Ntilikina. Guess what? I would have traded Mitch for Andre Drummond. Now, based on the way things are with cap space and stuff like that, you know what I'm saying? That's one thing. But I definitely would have traded Mitch for Andre Drummond. I don't think Mitch becomes Andre Drummond I really don't. I don't think Mitch becomes Andre Drummond.
Mitchell Robinson probably doesn't.
Yeah.
But on the court, I think Mitchell Robinson is a much better defender, and his potential, his ceiling is way higher than what Andre Drummond is right now.
I don't think so. I really don't think so. I'm sorry. He can't. He won't even attempt to shoot the ball. And he has a lot of development to go. But if you watch Mitchell Robinson in a lot of games, he doesn't attempt to shoot the basketball. He doesn't set good screens. He still has a lot to work on man-to-man defense. His rotations are, he can rotate over and block a shot, but rotations in other areas, are a little iffy sometimes. There's a lot to go with Mitch, and he won't even attempt to make a pass. Andre Drummond can at least pass the ball. He's clearly a double-digit rebounder, which Mitch is not. We're hoping that Mitch is going to get a little bit bigger and stronger. I'm taking Andre Drummond over Mitchell Robinson all day.
So let me ask you this: how much do you think you're going to pay Andre Drummond in the offseason if you want to re-sign him?
I have no idea. Right now, my main focus would be if he's bought out. I sign him for the rest of this season and then see where we go from there.
All I'm saying is if he's taking up a big portion of your cap space, it's going to limit you a lot. We got rid of Drummond, and we did dump him off for, I think it was Brandon Knight and John Henson and a second-round pick. It was basically for chips. But we, with that money, we got Jeremy Grant, who's most improved player candidate this year. So I'm just saying, I don't know if Drummond's the answer for the Knicks. I really do like watching this Knicks team as a Pistons fan, because especially this year we're not great. But
yeah, you guys are struggling this year.
Yeah, I mean we're trying to go for the top pick, and we're finally rebuilding. But the reason it took us so long to rebuild is because we wanted to win with Andre Drummond. So I'm just keeping that in mind.
I mean, listen. It happens like that, just like New Orleans had Anthony Davis, right? And they wasn't winning anything with Anthony Davis. They're not winning anything without him now, but they wasn't winning anything with him. And he was putting up major numbers, and everyone was, they knew that he was a top player, but can he win? Until he goes with a team, sometimes, it's not just about that one player. A lot of times it's about the team that you put around them. You know what I'm saying? So we'll see what happens. I can guarantee you he's going to go to a better team than the Cleveland Cavaliers this year. And when if he ends up going to Brooklyn, I think people will see. I think
Brooklyn's the best landing spot for him. I think D Rose is going to be a more positive asset for y'all than Andre Drummond would be as a Pistons, because we watch them, and for Pistons fans it takes a lot for the fan base to rile around the player, because it doesn't happen very often. The only two players in recent memory they have is Derrick Rose and Christian Wood. So I think this version of Derrick Rose could do a lot better in New York than last time.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I think he's a much more mature player, this time. Upstairs. You know what I'm saying? Much more mature player. But, hey, I appreciate the call. We're about to get off so we can get ready to watch this game. Thank you for the insight.
No problem.
And, you can feel free whenever we play the Pistons again, feel free to call in, man.
Most definitely.
Appreciate it.
Sometimes I like to say I'm right, but, it's okay. Sometimes I'm right, sometimes
What are you right about? That's his opinion.
Sometimes I'm right, sometimes
you are very much wrong. That's his opinion.
Bro, but okay, so now we're gonna discredit a dude that watches Pistons games?
Bro, we discredit Knicks fans who watch Knicks games. We have Knicks fans who know nothing about the team. What are you talking about? Big shout out to Gregory Castillo for the super chats. I think I got him already. Big shout out to Ishmael Rivas. He said, great show as always. If we can trade for Zach LaVine and get Drummond off waivers, RJ Randall quickly equals a top 3 team in the East. I agree with you 100%, Ishmael. I agree with you 100%. If we traded for Zach LaVine at at the deadline, which I don't think is going to happen, but if we did, then we got Drummond off of after he got bought out, and then we had R.J. Randall in quickly. Whew. That'd be pretty tough. You know what I'm saying? It just gets me that everybody thinks one player is supposed to win it all for every team that they're on. It makes no sense at all. When all these other teams, I mean, listen, he said Andre Drummond had Reggie Jackson. That's who, right? And I'm not laughing at the caller. I'm just the team. He said they had Reggie Jackson, right?
Wait,
Andre Drummond.
How you laughing? We got Alfred Payton.
Yeah, that's right. But to your argument, you were saying that because Andre Drummond had Blake Griffin and they didn't go nowhere on Blake Griffin's best season when he only played 18 games.
Okay, so the year before that, when he had his best season, what did they do?
The year before Bradley Beal was on the Wizards. Are you going to say that he's trash?
I got you, Josh. The year before that, the Pistons had Reggie Jackson.
He's better than Alfred Payton.
Point guard.
But he's not our only point guard right now. Clearly, we just traded for Derrick Rose.
But yeah, I just personally think y'all really ODing Andre Drummond. A top 4 team in the East.
Do you know what the 5th team in the East? Do you know what the 4th team in the East record is right now?
Early in the season, man. But wait, you can't do that. It's too early in the season.
Indiana is 12-12. They are on the way down.
We beat Indiana already, though,
they are
right?
on the way down, Isaiah. You are not paying attention to what's going on around the league. These teams, you have 3 teams in the season. You have 3 teams in the Eastern Conference that are going to separate themselves: Milwaukee, Brooklyn, and who else is up there? Boston,
the Sixers.
The Sixers. They're going to separate themselves. Everyone else is about the same.
Did we beat Philly yet? No, so they don't count. They're at the top of the East. Who else did we not beat that's at the top of the East right now?
People better put some respect on Andre Drummond's name. That dude ain't nothing to play with. That dude is serious.
We beat everybody in the top East. We've beat them once already.
Once? It's a regular, bro. It's regular season, bro.
Check this out. It doesn't matter.
Before I get out of here, I'm going to read off the team that they had back then. I'm going to read off the team that they had. Okay? They had Andre Drummond. They had Blake Griffin. You had Jose Calderon, Wayne Ellington, Langston Galloway, Reggie Jackson, Stanley Johnson, Luke Kennard, John Lure, Zach Lofton, Thon Maker, Zaza Pachulia, Glenn Robinson, Ish Smith,
who's that?
Kyrie Thomas. Like,
who's that?
That team may be overachieved to be 41-41, to be honest with you.
Sounds like it to me.
So what do you think? So wait, hold on. What do you think we're doing? Wait, hold on.
But
yes, that's why you add more talent. That's why you add more talent.
Oh, man. Okay.
That is why you add more talent, so that you can get better.
Trade a first-round pick for Andre Drummond and see how far that gets you. Trade a first-round pick for Andre Drummond. See how far that gets you.
Isaiah, I will.
This guy.
I sure will.
Y'all get fired.
Yep.
This guy.
I'll get fired
after the team gets the number 4 seed and we make the playoffs. I'll get fired, and the Knicks will have at least a playoff contention in the last 7 years.
We are out of here, ladies and gentlemen. We are out of here, ladies and gentlemen. We gone. We gone, man. Enjoy the game. We will catch you guys at the post game, ladies and gentlemen. Spread love.